What's good? Yo, what's up, Cowboy fans? Real Cowboy fans. Get into this live, man. I kind of got two topics, but I guess I kind of want to merge them together because they kind of really will coincide with each other. About our new DC and this 3-4 defense he's gonna attempt to run. I don't think we got the personnel for it. And just shit, Facebook, read on Twitter or whatever about all this Dak Prescott, what he shoulda, coulda, woulda, woulda. They still even buying for him to be MVP and shit, which is crazy to me. What's up, Dallas fan? Appreciate you, bro. Everything going good. Just wanna, you know what I'm saying? Let's get my thoughts, you know what I'm saying, about this 3-4 defense we supposed to be running with a new head coach who's never been an assistant defensive coordinator, nothing like that on a high level. You bringing in people from Cardinals, they defense. What's crazy is we could beat their defense, but they lost to every team after they beat us. Okay, man, what's up? JB in the house. What it do, brother? What's going on with you, man? See, I don't know where y'all at, but I don't know how the snow been for y'all. I know in the north, Midwest, I know it's been, you know what I'm saying, they've been having a real snowstorm. I'm down here in Georgia. They had a little snow today, but it wasn't too much. But I hope everybody, wherever y'all at, y'all safe. You know what I'm saying? Everything good with you and your families. But this down DC and Dak Prescott, Dallas fan, we will have to wait and see. Just no excuses from the fanboys. We're not investing much money as of now in the defense. No, we're not. Because the players you need to run a 3-4 defense, I don't think we have a single one on our team. For real. I don't think we don't have a nose tackle. I mean, Clowney kind of showed up. I guess he could play linebacker because you need 4 linebackers to play a 3-4. And you need a damn beast at nose tackle. I'm talking about a beast. He got to play both gaps. And if you ain't got a nose tackle that can play like that, they don't even invest in nose tackle. So what, is this guy gonna have is he gonna be able to impose his identity of what he think a 3-4 defense is? Because it got to start with the nose tackle. And then the linebackers is next. You gotta have 4 good linebackers. And we was running a 4-3, and we had all 3 of our linebackers wasn't shit. So what the fuck you think? Hold on, man. That's what I'm saying. I said this before. Our draft has got to be defensive heavy, and we got to pick the right players for this defense. You got to have linebackers, especially the 2 the outside. They got to be able to set the edge and start the run. Then you got to have linebackers that can play in coverage. We got neither linebackers or motherfucking nose tackle. They giving these coaches all this hype because he formed Quentin Mitchell and Blankenship and those guys. Like, Mitchell, them boys got talent. They came with talent. We don't have that. It's gonna be a big ass difference in how you coaching talent versus non-talent. Are you kidding me? Our linebackers, all of them garbage. All of them. And you need 4 good ones, great ones, to play in the 3-4. When have we drafted a beast at nose tackle? When the last time we drafted a beast, or even got a beast at nose tackle in free agency? That's what you need to play the 3-4, bro. This not looking good. It's not looking good, bro. Dallas fan, it's dry here in Mountain West. In Utah, it's not snowing no more. Okay, man, the Cowboys coaching staff all the crumbs left over from the bag of chips after you're done. Why are they all first time coaches at their position? Right. And that's a part of Jerry being cheap too and still trying to have control. That's what that looked like to me. Dallas fan. Some say easy, but it's only one guy. Yeah. Okay, man. Cowboys suck at drafting DT2. That's what I'm saying, man. This boy. I don't think this guy know what he's getting in. What he's getting into. I don't think Chistian Parker know what he's getting into, because for him to run a 3-4 defense, man, it's gonna take a lot. We don't have it. We don't have it on our 3 down linemen. I don't see it nowhere. Well, Quentin Williams don't play nose tackle. 4 linebackers, the 3 we had wasn't shit. So where the 4 great ones gonna come from? This dude finna do some hellified coaching for his first time at DC. I want to see this shit. Mills, what's happening? Dallas fan. The best DTs we got are guys we traded. Right, exactly. Yeah. Mills, yo, salute. We need number 4 to play like MVP. What's the odds of that? Shit, they trying to say he played like an MVP this season. They're vying for him to get voted in for the MVP conversation, bro. Okay, man, Cowboys miss Jordan Lewis. Everyone's so quick to call for it. Man, I said that early in the season. Man, I said that when we lost him. I said we don't have a slot corner. We don't have man. He was the man. J. Lou was a dog. J. Lou was a dog. And boy, I don't know why we get rid of our dogs, bro. I don't know why. Yeah, Ma, what's up? Wait, we are switching to a 3-4. Yes. He's a 3-4 defense, bro. Okay, I got you, Dallas fan, but Overshawn can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. Mills, Blankenship trash, but we got to go after him. We overpay for him. Blankenship. What was the other corner for y'all? It was a Quentin Mitchell. What's the other young guy name? Quentin Mitchell, Blankenship, and the other guy for the Eagles. Dallas fan, we have Kenny Clark. Oh, he played nose tackle? I'm thinking we need a monster. I'm talking about we need a monster at nose tackle to play the 3-4, bro. That's the key to a 3-4. That nose tackle. Because he going to play both gaps, A and B gaps. He playing right over the center. He going to dominate. We need a dominator right there. I don't see a dominator at nose tackle on our team right now. Quentin Mitchell, Kenny Clark. I don't see no dominant nose tackle that holds down a 3-4 defense. I think he might play a lot of nickel. He gonna take one of them linebackers off maybe both of them. Yeah, I see a lot of nickel from this guy. Because if we going with the talent what we got, we don't. To me, we don't have a true nose, and we don't have a linebacker. So he gonna have three corners. That's what he coached, cornerback. So I think he gonna try to prove his point and mold in our corners what we have or who we get or who we come into the league with after the draft. I think he gonna try to mold those corners to prove a point. Samuel, the last time Dallas had a nose tackle that did anything in the 3-4 was Jay Rattler. And bro lost his damn mind. Yeah, I like Jay Rattler. Yeah. Uh-huh. See, that been a minute. We're gonna switch from a 4-3 to a 3-4. What? Okay, man, he won't be defensive coordinator after this season. Dak will call for his job. Dallas fan, I don't mind that we're rebuilding. The problem is we're handicapped with rebuilding because we have QB most of the money. Yep, that's the reason why. But goddamn, when you go get the coaches, we got all first time. We had all first time coaches last season. Now we got all first time coaches this season. Head coach was the first time head coach. Offensive coordinator was the first time offensive coordinator. And I don't even he ain't called plays, so he ain't do shit last year either. Shit. Okay, man. Going to a 3-4 makes me think they are drafting three linebackers at least. They got to. That's what I'm saying. They got to draft linebackers. Simmons. Yeah, Cooper DeJean. Yeah, appreciate you. Mills. Dang, that 2 playoff wins, but Drake made 3 wins in the Super Bowl appearance in second season. But not a lot of help. But Dak always needs help. Yeah, man. It's the same old shit. And they still trying to get him. This Slurpee still trying to get him. And, some of the Dallas media or whatever trying to get him to get, in the MVP talks. All right, man, are you kidding me? Shit. MVP my ass. Dallas fan, Reed Blankenship, he is a free safety or a strong safety. I think he a free. I think he be playing. Shit, I be seeing him down on the line of scrimmage too, though. Sometimes I think he be playing both positions. Sometimes. Kevin, maybe the trade for Michael Parsons and make him an outside linebacker. That's what he was better in the 3-4 though, for real. I've said this shit. Michael Parsons was better in the 3-4 defense than a 4-3. He not the Mike. He not the Sam. He not the Will. He not the plugger. He neither one in the far as in the 4-4 of DC. Cause he got to. He on the biggest stage of his life. The fuck he in the Dallas Cowboys, regardless of when he won a Super Bowl in 30 years, he's still on the biggest stage. All this hype coming in about him being able to do, get Cooper DeJean and Quentin Williams to be balling. He made them, come on, man. Those guys had talent. It wasn't, Dallas fan. Dax had good coaches. Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn, Rob Marinelli. I totally agree. We could get 4 new linebackers with our picks plus a free agent signing. Depending on how they gonna work that shit. Depending on how they gonna work that shit, man. Okay, man. Kellen Moore won a Super Bowl. Dan Quinn went to a championship game and head coach for the Redskins. We got rid of both of them. Dallas fan, if we restructure, but that will screw our future. Yeah, restructuring ain't doing shit. It's a motherfucker waste at this point. Cause we still gonna be paying them down the line. It's still gonna be hurting the cap. It's gonna be dead money on the cap. Dallas fan, Blankenship, if he's a strong safety to me, is not much of an upgrade over Donald. But our safeties, bro, I think they're done. I think our safety's done. Sport, what's up? What's up, JB? The defense could still play well into the postseason, but playoff Dak still show up. That's another part of it. Speaking of Dak, hey, bro, hold up. Let me do this real quick, bro. Man, this shit on this man, I got some, like shit. What I'm saying, shit I've been seeing, man. I done get clips of this shit, man. This what these folks saying about that Prescott, man. This shit really. I mean, hold up. This check this shit out. Ryan Clark said Jerry Jones wasted that Prescott season. You cannot pay a quarterback $240 million, watch him play at an elite level, and then surround him with the worst defensive football. That's not a receipt for success. That's a receipt for wasted careers. So this guy is saying that Jerry Jones has wasted Dak Prescott's career because of the defense. That was just this year? So did Jerry Jones waste Dak Prescott's career in 2021, 2022, 2023? This is the shit I'm talking about, man. That shit, this crazy talk. Crazy talk about this guy. The sport. Imagine re-signing that, but not Micah. Yamar, I just looked up and we are expected to switch to a 3-4. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, man, make a good deal to begin with and you don't have to restructure. Dak is overpaid by 45, 50 million a year yet. Man. He's killing our team. Man, I made a video about this earlier in the season. He's killing our team with with that extension. No, Jerry being cheap. Jerry being cheap. He just don't want to spend no money, man. The sport. Dak is 37-10 versus the NFC East, and his winning percentage drops 28.2% outside the division. And then at that time too, great point, sport. At that time too, our division was terrible. It wasn't like he was fighting all three good teams. The only team he really was fighting was the Eagles. The Giants and the Redskins, he basically damn near swept them every season because they was doo-doo. The only team he really had a battle with in the NFC East was the Eagles. And at times they were garbage. Lately he just been splitting them. But that's where half his wins come from, the NFC East. Damn near half his wins come from the NFC East, man. Okay, man, no player should be making so much money to play a game. Especially when they don't produce. Dax only had two bad defenses, 2020 and 2025. That's a fact. Yup. I've looked that up already, Dallas fan. Yes. And they talking about if he only had a defense. Bro, he's had plenty. Sport. Dak wasted good defense from 2021 to 2023. Yes, he did. Yeah, okay, man. Ryan Clark is a clown. Oh man, there's so much more that man, y'all, man, bro. Hold on. I'm see Dallas fan 2016, 16, 2017, 12, 2018 7, 2019 11. Yup. Only if we had a middle of the road defense that we would have made a playoff with that Prescott. That's all we need. Bro, he's had that. That's the shit that kills me about this guy and what they talking about, how they be these Slurpees, man. This dude had that. And then some. Nothing's never good enough. And Chistian Parker ain't gonna be good enough. Okay, man, I just wonder what Dirk Dak has on Jerry. Maybe he's making good use of those knee pads. My bad. The sport. Romo had to play against Andy Reid and Tom Coughlin once a year, and the East has been generally garbage for Dak. Yep. Garbage. 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 Okay, man, why is everyone so hard on Dak? He's still developing. Oh, shit. Man, hold on. I got a few more, man. Hold up. Actually, basically, I can read either one of these motherfuckers and y'all be tripping. Hold up. This one here. Dak isn't perfect, but he's good enough to win. The problem is the structure around him. Other franchises build systems that support their quarterback. Dallas has. I don't know this Joe Cat, but on Facebook. So man, these boy, I'm telling you, they killing me with this shit, man. Dak didn't have nothing around him. That's what I'm saying, man. A lot of people see it. Some people don't, but a few of us see it. It don't matter what you put around Dak Prescott. He still ain't gonna get the job done. My bad. Alright, yeah. I'm very interested to see what this guy, Chistian Parker, is going to do for this defense. Because he's going to be the next scapegoat, goddamn. Because they still pumping up Dak Prescott and ain't giving him no criticism to why we failed this season. None at all. None. Dallas fan. Washington was good in 2007, 9-7, 8-8. In 2009, they won exactly terrible during Romo's era too. In 2008, Simeon, Facts Sports 78. Yeah, Romo, those 21-23 defensive Prescott had. And we beat the Niners in the playoffs. He beat them with broken ribs. Prescott couldn't win healthy. That's fucked up. Okay, man. If Dak had white skin, Ryan Clark would be saying the Cowboys need to drop him and get a black quarterback. That fool only sees race. I really don't. Ryan Clark be saying some. Man, I don't know what's up with him with this race thing, man. I think he need to let that shit ride. Straight up. Man, Dak just not it. He's just not it. And I don't like the fact that some people saying that we got a young black DC, the first black DC, when really not. But I'm like, I don't give a fuck if he's black or white. What can you do to benefit this team to win so we can get to the Super Bowl? My bottom line is the Super Bowl, man. And the moves we making that people celebrate. This ain't Super Bowl moves. You bring your first time everything on defense, first time everything on offense was last year. What a fucking elderly quarterback. that still can't read cover nothing. Cover 4, 2, 3, 6, 0. He can't read cover nothing. And we're expected to change and win some shit when all they credit him for is yards. Because that's the bottom line to them stats they credit him from being this top 5 here, number 1 here. It's yards. Because anything else, other quarterbacks beat him in. And he ain't even really beating them by too much with the yards. He just got about 100 or so more. But impactful wins and impactful play, Dallas fan, I do like the Parker hiring. Excited he's young and hungry and building something. Only problem is we're playing QB 30% of the cap. I mean, I'm not hating on Christian Parker as an up and coming coach. My thing is he's not the coach at this particular time for the Cowboys. See, that's the thing about it with my hire. I mean, how I feel about the hire. I think he probably could end up be a good defensive coordinator, but he don't have the personnel at all, nowhere on his defense to run a 3-4. And he's going to have to be invested in the safety position, which the Cowboys never do. They don't invest heavily in the safety, especially in the draft. And I mean, draft or goddamn free agency. They go get somebody off of another team or something that's been in the league 8 years, might have had some injuries and shit. He's gonna need bona fide players at key positions, starting with nose tackle, to run this 3-4. And I don't see it this year. I don't see it in the draft. I mean, there's players there, but I don't see them, the Cowboys, drafting those players, those key players at those positions. What type of corners he gonna drive? He gonna drive man-to-man corners or zone corners? Which corner specify who and play great at that particular position, or can he drive the corner that can play both man and zone? Because I think he gonna play a lot of nickel too, and you gonna need that third corner. This is why I see where it's not really gonna happen this year unless we see something in the draft where they make some moves in free agency. So I mean, I kind of can hold that thought a little bit on that, but I'm still putting out there that I don't know how it's gonna get done with the experience of knowing how Jerry now come to the draft. You draft Schoonmaker at number 2 for what? You draft Chevelle, what's his name? Chevelle Revel. He injured. What was he? A third pick, third round. Then they actually moved up to get him. Hmm. That's the bullshit. Okay, man, the first black DC, but can he coach grown man? If not, then it doesn't matter if he's yellow or red, right? That shit don't matter to me. Hell no. Dallas fan, but the highs we're making is for rebuilding. Shit. If we rebuilding, we need to get rid of the quarterback. I don't think they really trying to rebuild. I think they putting band-aids on shit. That's what I think. Mills, we can win if we get a top 5 defense, keep Dak around 20-25 passes a game, and have a potent run game and a great O-line. But, I mean, he's had that, but they still want to throw it with him. Shotty even said it, bro. They want to throw it with Dak because he got Pickens and Lamb. That's why they in the red zone. We was suck in the red zone because they wanted to shine with Dak throwing it to Pickens and Lamb instead of giving the ball to Javonte Williams. Brandon Aubrey outscored us in the red zone, bro. That's why we continue to failure. That is a good point, Mills, and I've said that to a redundancy. But they gonna keep slinging it because Jerry paid this man 60 mil, and he's determined to make sure Dak be the main sole reason why we succeed or win or go to the Super Bowl. He said we got the talent. Jerry just said that said a few days ago. He said we got the damn Super Bowl team. Basically, what he said. How? Where do we have a Super Bowl team? Come on, man. Dallas man. So I agree, but the biggest need is to get a real franchise quarterback. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, man. This guy is not a coach for a rebuilding team. He may be better suited for a team that's got some things in place. Yep. Can a first time DC rebuild a defense from scratch? I guess we'll see. Yep. It's a wait and see thing. Yeah, okay, man. Totally agree, man. I said that he should go to a different team that got shit in place. Not the Cowboys right now. Not at, I think it's bad timing for him. And the expectations they gonna have for this guy in his first year as a first DC. But then again, they might give him excuses like they giving Shotty. But they giving him a ton of excuses. Dallas fan, we only have one proven starter, and that's Blaine coming off injury. Rebel injured, and Carson and the rest of the type thing. Yeah, man. We in trouble. Still. Big pun, what it do? Want to be like the Eagles so bad. Hmm. Yo, JB, what it do? What up, Robert Parrish? What's happening with you? Mm-hmm. Appreciate y'all. Chelsea, Remington. I'm telling y'all, Dak is a selfish, sneaky, two-faced dude, and I believe that sexual assault lawsuit got closed with hush money. Mm, that's how you see it? Could be right. Hey, man, they wanted to pass Dak's stats in the red zone to no avail. He only made the Cowboys a red one laughing stock. We got one of the poorest red zone percentages in the league, man. Dallas fan at corner, bro. I don't see it with this guy right now, man. I mean, hell, shot. We see him with shot in his first time head coach. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna be physical. I guess according to them, they did run the ball. I don't think they ran the ball enough. Still, I'm sorry. I still don't think they ran the ball enough. Nope. Mm-mm. We need another couple of these Dak fan Slurpees. Oh shit! Dak Prescott finishes one of the most productive seasons of his career. One of the productive seasons of his career. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the shit they keep talking about, bro. Dallas fan is what I meant with my comment at corner as and safety or other starters is Hooker, who's been bad the last two. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay, man. Just saying. You thought the Cowboys' run defense was bad before. Imagine how bad it will be with less beef on the field, and the beef the Cowboys have isn't that great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To run a 3-4, you gonna have to have a monster at nose tackle. I mean, this dude got to be a beast, bro, to run that 3-4. Oh, red zone laugh stock. I got you, Gabe, man. Dallas fan, what 7-9-1, 1-6-1 against teams above 500. Yeah, that and they saying that was one of his most productive seasons, bro. I'm telling you, they only looking at yards and them damn stats. He throw for what 30 TDs and they act like that's fucking fantastic. He's never thrown for 40 or more TDs ever. Yeah, I think he only throw over 35 like once. Garbage, garbage. But they gonna keep parading his ass out there on the field. Get out of the game plans, which they should run the ball. Had him throw that shit maybe 20, 25, 28 times a game. That's it. That's it. Hello. Let me see. Dak views. It's on Facebook. Funny how Dak critics always talk about past Dak, but stay real quiet about 2025 Dak. Year 10, and he's still improving. He's still improving. Oh, shit. He's still improving. Oh, they be killing me with that shit, bro. Hold up. Oh, I looked that down already. Is this it? Uh, how many motherfuckers been fired in Dookie's 10 years? At some point, you got to stop firing everyone around that can realize it's him. Facts. Facts. Look, I have to read this one? Yeah, I looked that down already. Oh, shit. What? Yeah, here we go. This is what Jerry Jones said. We expect to be playing in the Super Bowl next season. This is a championship level roster, and we're fully committed to the moment. Now, come on. Come on. This man said we got a championship roster, so there should be no excuses. But once again, we know what that's going to be. Shit. Dallas and the Eagles were the only good team he beat, and they had issues and were one and done. The only good team. He's been splitting with them lately anyway, so I don't really. To me, that's a given. That's not impressive to beat the Eagles to me, because I mean he's dominated them for a minute and then he started splitting with them. AAB was happening. I watched the highlight where Roma threw 5 INTs and still came back to win. That wouldn't even be able to do that in his dreams. Okay, man. If the Cowboys had a schedule with teams at or around 500, that would have 20 picks, 25 TDs, and 2,500 yards. Throw those sorry teams in there to pad his stats. Yeah. Man, he got lucky playing in the NFC East in the time when he came in 2016. He got lucky. He came in right on time because that division terrible. Okay, man, let's not ignore the fact that Dak had like 10 drop picks that he threw. If those particular secondaries with them cornerbacks would catch the damn ball, he probably would have. Yeah. Damn, Jerry, I can't believe he said that shit. Hmm. Oh, this a common thing with these this a common thing right here. Cowboys fan, when they lose, football is a team sport. I guess an Eagles fan did this shit. Cowboys fans win. Dak owns the East. Oh shit. So my thing is, I don't even know how this guy, Christian Parker, first time, got down DC. I don't see what he's gonna do in the 3-4 when he don't my- what up, Trap?
Well, what up with it? You
What's
got
good
going,
with you,
my
bro?
boy?
Chilling, man. Just trying to see, get my thoughts out there on what this new DC gonna do. He's looking like he's gonna be another scapegoat for that Prescott.
Yeah, it look like another one of them Chris Richard situation.
Yep,
You remember him?
yep, so do. That's what it
hmm
looks like it's gonna turn out to be to me too, man. But I don't think he really gonna. It's his
I mean,
first time, man, and I don't understand the defense he's trying to run when we don't have the personnel for it. I'm
right.
trying to see what's gonna happen, man. Because looking at it right now, just to get my thoughts of how I was looking at this moment, I don't expect too much, bro. I'm gonna be real. I don't expect too much out of this guy. What up, Dallas fan?
How's it
That's
going?
just
What's going on, man?
that's just the reality though, bro. Cause you living in reality. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that's feeling like that's talking about this dude for to come make a change in 1 year. Man, gotta be out their mind, bro. Like we ain't got nowhere near the personnel. Like we need defensive line, man. We need fucking man. We need somebody every like the defense. Just we in a rebuild mode on defense. Look like anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't expect them to do nothing either. I don't expect for this team to do nothing for the next at least 2-3 years, bro. Like with or without them. Like, that's why I was like, man, I'm ready to move on from him because I could do bad by myself.
Yeah, man. Sure.
What you got, Dallas fan?
Well, with the Parker hiring, it's like Trap was saying there. I mean, he's got his hands full, man. I mean, he's going to pretty much have to rebuild most of the defense. I mean, we're going to have to definitely get some linebackers. That's a for sure. We're going to
Man,
definitely have to get some corners to, like I said, I mean, Bland is our only like true proven starter at corner, and he's coming off of injury because Revel, he's injured, right? And we still don't know with him. He's a question mark. Carson, injury. He looks like he could be a good depth piece, but if he's not healthy, what's the use?
yeah.
And then at safety, Donovan Wilson's a free agent. He's going to be gone. Malik Hooker, we saw how badly he played
Oh
last year.
shit.
Honestly, a ham sandwich would almost be better than him at safety right now. So
Get some cheese.
yeah, there's a lot of question marks. I mean, I looked at, there's been this whole thing about the Cowboys can open up $100 million with the cap space, which is technically true. But do you know what the Cowboys would have to do in order to do that? And this is where it's gonna be crazy. They have to restructure 7 of their 10 top highest paid players. That's including Dak. They'd have to cut Terrence Steele
Damn.
and they'd have to cut Malik Hooker. So not only would they have to restructure almost all of their highest paid deals to do that, they would also be losing 2 starters. So now you got to go out there and replace Hooker, and you got to go out there and replace Steele. So I mean, it's possible, but then the future wise, you're going to have a lot of dead cap money, which is just from a financial standpoint, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't. You could do that, but then down the road, you're gonna be paying a lot of that money.
Yep.
That's that's the biggest problem. And then the fan base wants to sign Pickens, and you could do that with that, but then like I said, it's going to destroy
Hey, let me ask you something
really.
real quick, Dallas fan. What you think they should tag Pickens or straight up give him a contract?
Um, you know, I'm I'm kind of at the point where I think that we should move on. I like George Pickens. I think he had a good season with us, but in the games where we really needed him to show up, there were times he didn't show up.
True.
There just wasn't. It wasn't just Dak. He was quitting on routes, not doing what he should have been doing.
I give you
And he
that.
wasn't even getting paid the big money. So just imagine if we pay him the big money, I fear he'll do a lot of what these other players do. So I'm kind of in favor of tagging and trading him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to tag him, you got to trade him, because if you tag him and you don't trade him, you're just screwing yourself salary cap wise. But if you are going to sign him, make sure it's a long-term deal. But especially with it being David Mulligata, that's kind of where I'm like,
yeah, understood.
What's up, Samuel?
Oh, hey, this is JB and everyone here. How y'all doing?
What up,
Good, bro.
How's it going?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Just to piggyback what he said, look, I wouldn't mind keeping George Pickens, but at the same time, if there was a chance to try to get draft capital for him, might as well try it. Only because of the fact that if you're going to talk about trying to fix up this defense, then somewhere along the lines, personnel-wise, sometimes, you kind of had to start, sometimes things going to give. And, and the thing is, we could get easily a first or second for him. Somebody's willing to give us something for him. And you want to fix his defense up. Not only do you had to do it because he committed to sign and train him now, but you're going to have to do that before free agency starts.
True.
So, because if you're going to tag him, that's a whole bunch of money you're going to tag him. $28 million, somewhere along the lines, you're better off just in that case, you're going to pay him. You're better off just pay him that and to give him the contract because. So, I just don't think he's going to want to play an attack considering the situation where you could just give him the contract already if you wanted to keep him. But they're all going to have to do that before you're going to have to come to that conclusion. Either you pay him, keep him around, do what you got to do to fix the roster up, or you're going to have to realize that maybe, if you want this defense to get fixed up for Chistian Parker to succeed, you might have to be willing to give up Pickens to do that. Because let's be real. Like, as much as we talk about, as it relates to that, we need another reason. I'm like, we need another. You only have CD and everybody else, and some of the defense going to complain about. I'm like, I don't give a shit. We treat this man as an MVP. Let him make it work with CD. Let him make it work with Ferg. Let him make it work with another rookie receiver or two that he can do that. Never stop Josh Allen. He doesn't have a receiving core.
He's not gonna be able to do that though, Samuel. That's the thing. So we're in a dilemma in a sense. Do we need to goddamn go ahead and which I think we should. We need to revamp this defense, especially going to a 3-4.
I agree. I think
about what y'all saying with Pickens is, get some draft capital because we're gonna have to build that defense regardless. If, like you said, Dak can't do it with just CD Lamb. That's why they got rid of Brandon Cooks. He wasn't efficient enough for them for Dak Prescott. We need another number one. So
and the sad thing is, JB, I really like what I saw from Ryan Flournoy, and I honestly think if he could get you 600 to 800 yards, 5 to 6 touchdowns, that's really solid numbers from a number two. That's solid numbers,
right?
But that's not good enough because again, Dak has to have everything perfect around him to succeed. It's like he can't. I don't know what it is, but in the game, he just can't. He can't overcome adversity, and it's been the same way his whole career.
Exactly.
He needs a damn running back. He needs 3 wide receivers and a tight end.
Mm-hmm. You look at
and it's crazy to me because they expect people expect for us to have 5 all-pro offensive linemen just for this dude, bro. Like, you should have to have 5 all-pros, bro, across the line just for this dude, bro.
He had 3 all-pros for a long time. He had Frederick for a couple years. He had Tyron Smith. He had Zach Martin.
Like, bro, an offensive lineman every year, man. Like, most teams, if you got 2 all-pros on the offensive lineman, that's good.
You good.
And we're not too far off from how Booker's looking.
Yeah. Sorry, piggyback what you said. Yeah, I don't hit the Booker pick. I think BB, will be okay at center. Tyler Smith, more or less a top 5 guard in football at least. The only issue you can say would probably be the tackle, it's going to be the tackle position. But then, I would say that throughout the season, interior offensive line, good tackles. got some fucked up issues. I think Steele obviously needs to go. Guy needs to either get it together, stay healthy, or he has to be moved to right tackle and got to invest in that tackle. But even despite all that, we still want to brag about having a top 5 offense and point score, at least again by that logic. So yes, they have their issues, but again, when some of the DAF fans don't get is all you had to do is look at how other offensive linemen played around the league. Look at Minnesota. Like Darisaw is their best offensive lineman, and he's been gone for the year. They had to go through a bunch of combinations. Look at the Chargers. Justin Herbert wishes he probably has our line right now. And we just saw what happened when we played against them. Like he was able to score 31 against our defense, but we were scoring on theirs, but somehow we couldn't do nothing shit else in the second half. All you had to do is look at what else? Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Put that same offensive line that was shit to Super Bowl 56. And like I said, you put him on our line even with his issues right now. And so you'd be better off in Dallas than he would be in Cincinnati.
Some of our offensive line issues come from Dak poor play behind the line of scrimmage.
I agree.
I mean, he doesn't know how to down work the pocket, bro. It's like he wait too late to do shit. His decision making is just his timing of it is just terrible, man.
Exactly.
Decisions.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And to expound on that point, I talk to people, I try to explain to people for years that football has always been symbiotic within the game. Yeah. When your quarterback gets pressure, that doesn't come off because your offensive line doesn't block. You don't have linemen that can block and can't pick up a blitz worth a damn. Yeah, that's an issue. But even when we had good offensive lines during that time, we had Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, Fred Beer, and Frederick. That act like he couldn't pay attention where the fuck he was half the damn time. You as a quarterback, you're not going to have time it forever. The other dudes on the defensive line, they get money too. They're trying to go up there and try to fuck you up. So, you got to be able to make quick, you got to pay attention to the pocket and make quick decisions for the pocket. If your quarterback can't do that, even if he has some decent time, then you just complicate shit for your offensive line. Then holding sometimes and having stalled drives because your quarterback, makes a bad decision for the pocket because he can't pay attention and he gets a mess around, gets himself hit.
Yeah. And I agree with everything you said, Samuel. If you got to think about it too. Dak is one of the slower quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Just imagine if he had the mobility of Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts or heck, even Justin Herbert. I mean, our offensive line would look way better than it already is. And you mentioned, holding on to the ball. I mean, I've seen games where the offensive line has gotten holding penalties because he holds on to the ball too long. He doesn't get rid of it. Or, they give up sacks that people will blame on the offensive line, but it's really because Dak Prescott held on to the ball too long and he didn't, go through his reads fast enough. Or if he did, he just didn't trust himself to,
because the receiver got to have a 5-yard window of separation before he decides to throw the damn ball.
Exactly. And it's just, when you have deficiencies like that and you're aging, this is where Jerry Jones went horribly wrong. Is like we all know, he made the mistake because Dak sells a lot of the jerseys and all that sort of stuff that he refused to move on, and people were acting like we can't win without Dak. Last time I checked, Cooper Rush was 9-5. And I'm not saying Cooper Rush is like this great quarterback, but you're telling me the Cowboys couldn't get somebody better than Cooper Rush? We can get somebody better than Cooper Rush. We've done it. Andy Dalton was better than Cooper Rush, in my opinion. But
I agree totally. That's what I'm saying. You see what Sam Darnold is doing.
Exactly.
Motherfucking Super Bowl. That boy Sam said y'all got fucked up. No, man, that's crazy, bro.
I just wish Jerry Jones would have, I really wish he would have moved on from Dak after 2024. He should have let him play out his contract.
Yeah.
And just sucked it up, paid the $41 million. He could have drafted one of these quarterbacks. Everybody's talking about Shedeur Sanders being bad. He is in Cleveland. Okay. So give him a break a little bit. He's got to work on some things, but I'm saying if he'd have a better offensive line in Dallas, He's got
Yep.
better receivers
They
than what
have
he's got
better
in
weapons.
Cleveland. You're telling me he couldn't do something? I think he could.
I think he could too.
You could have
Yep.
even drafted Jackson Dart.
He could have kept
Yeah.
that money, gave Dak, built this motherfucking team up, and had it. All we would have been waiting on now is a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. If anything, I would say they should have been gotten rid of him before 2020 started, and they should have figured that out by 2016, 2018, and especially the 2019 season. That he wanted to ask for his new contract, but I'm like, dude, we saw you in those last couple of playoff games before 2020. You couldn't get it done, so should we keep you around? Hell, in 2020, you could have tried for maybe two. You could have tried for Justin Herbert. So even if the season didn't work out. Maybe you could have tried for Justin Herbert. I wouldn't fucking know. Or even you had to wait a while to get a quarterback. Okay. But you at least had time to try to build the team up. And most of all, if they invested into the quarterback position, even when Dak was there, you would have had options. Maybe the other dude could have been better than him. And then all you had to do is be like, well, if Dak was so sure he can go make his money somewhere else, we'll just roll with the guy we got. And the new guy's better, we're winning, invest around him. Sometimes you got to do that. And that's one of the issues that Jerry fucked up on, apart from not trying to draft a quarterback in the first round. You don't try to, you want to try to build, if you want to try to get a quarterback, sooner or later you're going to have to consider drafting one or two. And you got to see, so you have to have options. And not having options, among other things, at that position has fucked them up for a long time. Because you could have had.
It really
You
has.
could
Quiet right now, Samuel.
A lot of motherfuckers talk that shit, bro. Man, Dak, I don't give a fuck, man. Cooper got Dak paid. If it weren't for Amari, bro, because like you say, JB, you gotta be 5 yards open for his ass to throw you the ball, and know what Cooper was doing.
Yep.
That's why he be overthrowing CD and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, man.
He's not
Yeah.
Chris route runner that Cooper was. Like Cooper was that he was the best route runner in the game when we had him. You know what I'm saying?
Man, he was the technician at running routes. That's why he was open, man, for Dak. You know
And
what
him
I'm
and
saying?
Dak got
Dak
it.
need like 3 receivers like that, bro.
But even then, he acts like he didn't know where the hell Cooper was half the damn time. I think in that 2018 Eagles game, I think it was reported, excuse me, that Coop had to tell him that, Cooper, he telling him that, look, they're playing man. Give me the ball. They're playing man. He's letting them know what the defense is doing. And just bottom the ball, like you're going to do it until he actually bothered to do so. And once he actually, started doing it, lo and behold, they started coming back and won that game. I saw it. I was happy they won it. But if your receiver has to tell your quarterback, like, yo, like they're playing the coverage the way they're playing the coverage the way that I'm open, giving the fucking ball. All you got to do is see me, and that's half the problem. Half the damn time.
He's still developing. He didn't see Kyrie Elam in training camp this year.
He sure hell didn't. 3 times.
Yeah.
3 times he threw him an interception, man. I'm like, yo.
Man, I looked back on a lot of this stuff. I started thinking about, when really the signs were there that Dak wasn't the guy. I really thought about this, and I thought about this when he threw the defense under the bus. The first sign that he wasn't really the leader that he says he is was the Dez Bryant situation back in 2017.
Yeah.
Dez had been a big part of that locker room for years. And he was saying, hey, Dak's not throwing me the ball right. And the film proved it. Okoye Media, shout out to him.
Yeah.
And then Dak threw him under the bus, if you remember. That was the first sign of his leadership not being exactly the best.
Hey, I
but
did
then
a
you look at
reaction video of Okoye Media doing that too, man. Last year, I did.
I think I remember you doing that.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you look at 2017, we missed Ezekiel Elliott for 6 games. Every team we played that was actually decent, we not only lost, we got killed. Atlanta, Eagles, Chargers, lost all 3 of those games. Then the next year, we had all those receivers, nobody that was really great, right? But guys that were serviceable. 3 and 4, we had to trade for Amari Cooper, and we finished the season at 7-1, made the playoffs. Then the year after that, kind of like this year, 2019 reminds me a lot of 2025. Every time we played against the team above 500, every time we played against or below 500, Dak balled out for the most part. But when we played against teams above 500, he was nowhere to be found. He didn't show up in that Saints game. He didn't show up in that Packers game. that Patriots game. Heck, all he had to do at the end of the year was beat the Eagles, who were missing multiple starters while we were mostly healthy. And what did he do? He scored 9 points. And we ended up missing out on the playoffs. So there was plenty of evidence before 2020, like, because I mentioned that because Simeon was talking about it. And the front office missed the signs. And what's even worse is after they paid him, they doubled down and they paid him again. So,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but it's just frustrating. But that was kind of looking back. There were plenty of signs going all the way back almost 10 years ago where we knew. And then 2021, he didn't get along with Amari. Amari got traded. Kellen Moore's play calling didn't fit his because he was playing bad. Ended up leaving. So there's evidence.
It was the option routes that Kellen Moore was calling that caused Dak to be afraid and throw those interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. Which was just hilarious because every team in the NFL has that in their playbook in some form or another. I'm like, hell, the wire. Romo Witten became a Hall of Famer running the wire option like it's nothing. But that's because, Witten knew what he was doing at tight end, and he also had Romo who at least knew how to read a defense and can go to the wire option and need be. And the fact that we somehow had to trade the wire option for Dak like it's somehow an issue is fucking insane. Like, why did we have to take that out of our playbook? Just because this motherfucker act like he can't pay attention to what the defense is calling and doesn't know what the receiver is doing. That you can't, like, how does that make sense?
It's like he's like Matt Schaub.
Bet, man. This is a 10-year bet we talking about.
He's 10-year
bet galore.
Do y'all remember Matt Schaub back in the day with the Houston Texans?
Yeah.
That's who Dak reminds me of. I mean, Matt Schaub, just like Dak, 3rd, 4th round pick. He was a backup, drafted. He was a backup a couple years, though, before he started. But then he went to a Houston team that had a loaded offense with Andre Johnson and Owen Daniels and Arian Foster.
Right.
And a loaded team had some success, right? Just like that, had some success.
Yeah, he did.
And then what happened? Once that talent started, fading around him, he didn't have it as much. He got exposed, and then he never became a starter again. And honestly, that's kind of who Dak reminds me of. He reminds me a lot of Matt Schaub. That's who I compare him to. Matt Schaub is probably him or Ryan Tannehill, but probably Matt Schaub, because Matt Schaub was a middle round pick, kind of like he was.
Yeah, oddly enough, despite Tannehill, not being able to crack in Miami, he was at least going to say he got to a conference championship in Tennessee in 2019 with Mike Vrabel. At least Tannehill can say that.
Tannehill was a converted wide receiver to quarterback. He used to play wide receiver.
Right, that's why I compare
he
Matt
was
Schaub
even a less of a quarterback than Dak Prescott. And still,
well, that's why I compare him to Matt Schaub, JB. Matt Schaub was like Dak. He was a backup level quarterback that if you put a lot of talent around him, he could have success, and he did. But then once the talent faded around him and he got older, just like Dak, and he started playing bad for the Texans, they moved on from him. And he never became a full-time starter again. That's kind of where I see Dak at. I'd say he's a little bit more mobile than what Matt Schaub was, at least when he was younger, but that's about the only difference. Other than that, it's pretty identical if you look at their careers.
Understandable.
But, yeah.
Go ahead, Simeon.
Understandable. But I guess you say back to the mobility part, even when Dak was younger, you could say he probably ran a little more, and obviously it's true. He never had speed anyway. But but he always, at least in some instances, tried to run when he had a chance to do so. So I don't knock him for that, at least. But the whole thing is, I think after that whole ankle injury, what happened, that ankle injury in 2020, I just think, to some extent, kind of spooked him. Even up to this point, I think it still spooked him to a point. And obviously Jerry too, considering and for that reason. But that's another conversation. But the thing is, I just think that, nobody says you're going to have to try to get to a full sprint, but there's a chance if you have 4 or 5 yards, take 4 or 5 yards. Especially if you have a chance for a first down. If that, I don't expect you to try to beat anybody in a foot race. I mean, at least when the second Eagles game, when he did ran for a touchdown, I was happy they at least did that. Because that's what he did at least try to when he was younger. But I do.
Yeah, he was a red zone threat in his first 3 years. In running, yeah.
So it just kind of seems like nowadays, but I'm thinking with the way the game is at this point, with quarterbacks at least a little bit of speed. I'm just thinking to myself, like, and I just look at the Senior Bowl right now. I'm just looking at Taylor Green, Arkansas, 266, 235. I don't know what he's going to be, but I'm thinking worst case scenario, shit, maybe Dallas could try and take him later in the draft somewhere, get everybody else in defense, maybe take away fly him. At least I know he can run. Everything else,
quarterback.
He's a quarterback from Arkansas.
Okay.
And well, that's kind of what you need nowadays. I mean, the days, if you're going to get a pocket passer, they have to read the defenses at a high level, which Dak doesn't do. But most of these guys don't either. The difference is they got stronger arms. They're more athletic. They can move around the pocket.
Yeah.
And that's where the NFL is kind of going. You look at there's not a lot of guys that, in fact, shout out to Gerard Johnson because he made a video about this, except for I completely disagree with him saying Dak's a field general. Sorry, Gerard.
Yeah, I don't know. How did he get that title? I'm like, ain't no fucking way.
Right. How did he even get that label?
But, yeah, anyways, I disagree with him on that. But he's right in the sense that the NFL nowadays, most of these teams, they take the quarterbacks with the most speed, the strongest arms, and they don't have to read defenses necessarily at a high level as long as they're not. That's why I had a little bit of faith in Joe Milton. I'm like, can he get his accuracy down enough to where he could start, which he hasn't yet. So I don't see him doing that. But I'm saying because he has all the attributes you want, but his accuracy is not good enough to where he could start. It's just not. But he has the attributes you want that all the other quarterbacks have: size, speed, strong arm. Just doesn't have the accuracy.
He's gonna get the reps. He's not gonna get the reps in Dallas to build on that either. It's not gonna happen.
Funny enough, when you thought about when somebody made a reference to in your previous show about Trey Lance in 2024, and I guess my whole idea about why we didn't bother to play Trey Lance instead of Cooper Rush would come down to in this scenario. Regardless, let's just say even if Trey Lance, even if the team loses with Trey Lance, he starts playing more. He starts looking better. He starts, you see his mechanics are down. He's going through his progressions a little better. He's making some of his throws count for something, and you see him bit by bit, regardless of wins or losses. Now, if he starts showing improvement and somehow they did win after Jerry just gave that contract at the start of the year, it was going to create it could have created another quarterback controversy because people is going to make Jerry look stupid. Not that he doesn't have to, he already does that on his own anyway. But the thing is, it makes him even look stupider, even more stupid because you basically had Trey Lance, who San Francisco couldn't make, and Kyle Shanahan couldn't make it work. Yeah, he's starting to look better in Dallas. And then people are going to look back and realize, like, wait a minute, why in the world would Trey Lance is cheap and younger and he's getting better each game? What was the point of you paying Dak when everybody can look back at those?
Damn,
I know.
Man, you hitting on some good points tonight, man, and that's politicking right there, bro.
You're right. It is politics. You're right. It is politics. It's just, the idea is that Jerry doesn't. His thing is, he didn't want to make himself look stupid because he creates a quarterback controversy he doesn't want because it's going to come down to I made the right bet on my quarterback and I want to stick with him regardless if he's the worst motherfucker on the planet. And another dude the fact that another dude can do it, you could, move this offense and this team better than he can. And of course,
8 games we could have put Trey Lance in there, man, and he didn't do that shit.
Same reason for Joe Milton. I mean, hell, against Denver when we couldn't do a damn thing on offense against that defense. I still hate the fact that somehow the Giants with Jackson Dart could somehow put up over 30 on that defense. They don't have Malik Neighbors there, but the fact that Joe Milton took a couple of good throws and threw a deep pass to Tolbert that actually counted, and it was 24 to get us that touchdown, kind of says, like, even in the final game of the year against the Giants, granted, he got an interception, but even, he started at least move the ball a little bit, especially when he ran for a few times. You're thinking, well, damn, at least Joe can at least run some, at least Joe being able to run helped made it easier.
Did he throw a touchdown in that game?
No. Well, in the Denver game, when it was already decided, he did. But I don't think. But in the Giants game, though, I don't think he did. But he helped lead a touchdown drive. Yeah. With a couple good throws and that big 4th down run that he had at work, and it led to a touchdown drive for Phil Maffa. I think he scored that.
Okay.
So he let a touchdown drive at least. They at least made that game somewhat competitive. Somewhat.
Yeah. But that's the fact. What's up, Trap? You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. What's up with it, man?
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell.
Oh,
My
I
phone
don't
started
know.
tripping.
I think I hit you by accident. My bad. But yeah, I'm interested to see what this guy gonna do, man. This to me, this is gonna be. This is gonna tell a lot about the organization too. To me, about the upcoming draft and free agency, because for him to want to run this 3-4 defense, man, the
Yeah,
personnel that we need to run it is nowhere on our defense at this time.
Well, yeah.
they gonna have to go get some dudes, bro. Talking about some real who like isn't who some dudes is in the free agency wise that you've been looking at,
As far as what position?
like like I don't know like defense period. Like what you think
Shit,
what you
we
want to
need to
count?
start with a nose tackle. If we want to do this 3-4, you got to have a beast. I mean, a monster.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Shit, maybe I'm gonna have to go do some research on anybody coming out of the draft or some free agents that at nose tackle, because that's the key to making it, even to be able to even run a 3-4.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Shit,
that and they wanted, use the more 5-man fronts, Of course, even Flus tried that last year, at least to an extent. But I think
but
in
then
this case,
you
they want to
need
try to
more
I guess they want to try
linebackers.
to be better than women. Well, yeah, because I'm thinking, well, at least for linebacker, well, I think Roquan Smith from Baltimore, he might be available. I don't know. The Ravens plan on keeping him around, but they ain't going to keep him around. Shit, if they cut him, I'd bring him over to Dallas. At least compared to anybody else that on our linebacker core, at least be better.
right.
So there's that. And I just think, with the way the NFL is nowadays, I guess in Parker's case, not everybody's going to run a true 3-4-3 or 3-4 nowadays. They'll just add in, mix in 2-4-5, 4-2, and a variation of that. So that's what he
But
wants to
Because
try
I
and
think
do.
he's gonna run some
But
nickel too, but I think that this is his base though. You feel what
mm,
I'm saying? So this is a
yeah,
whole philosophy change from a 4-3.
yeah,
So I mean, at least he had some players more in the 4-3 than the 3-4. You feel what
mm,
I'm saying? So, but now the whole philosophy change, the whole mindset changes about the defense when you go to a 3-4, because
mm.
you gotta have at least two linebackers out of the four that could play the run and play in the pass.
It
Then
can
you gotta
definitely,
have two. You gotta
it
have
can
two
blitz.
dominant linebackers on the outside that can set the edge specifically and stop the run. You
And
can't.
also
You
and be
ain't
a great
stopping the
pass rusher too.
run with a weak ass nose tackle and two D ends. Sometimes even
Mm,
in a 3-4, you got to bring a safety down.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So
No, I agree with you. I'm just
this
saying,
this
it
ain't,
didn't,
this ain't no simple change from a goddamn 4-3 to a 3-4 when you, especially when you don't have the personnel.
Yeah,
Now I
yeah.
can see if we was running the 3-4 and we at least had some of those particular positions, but goddamn, we don't have nothing
we
at
don't got
But
those
it.
positions to run.
then it makes you wonder about the whole Micah trade. You're thinking, if we wanted to run a 3-4, we should have kept Micah's ass in Dallas. You would have had a piece right there because he
Because
could more or
that's
less work in a 3-4.
yeah, that's
He did
true.
all right. He did all right in a 4-3, but he could easily work a 3-4 and be
Yes,
an outside linebacker.
that's
You have a piece
yeah,
right there you can build around.
exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you speaking of a player like Micah in that particular philosophy, in that scheme, you gotta have like 4 Micah Parsons to run a 3-4. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at his side, he'll probably play the wheel, but then you need a dominant like a Fred Warner at Mike.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
we gotta
I mean,
really build a defense. This ain't just
mhm.
going getting some cheap players that's been in the league 8 years, had injuries. Now we need somebody and we go get them for cheap. No, bro.
nah, you
To
got to hit on
run
the
this
craft,
fucking
man. You got to.
defense, you gotta have top-notch players at
Mhm.
linebacker
Right.
at all 4 positions, and you gotta have a dominant fucking nose tackle.
Yeah.
Just for a reference to what you're talking about, as much as I fucking hate the Steelers, but if you want to talk about an example of one and how to run your free four, at least for example, you're gonna have to basically, you're right, you're gonna need players like that. They had Joey Porter at his best. They always had Troy Polamalu at safety, making it work. And obviously, you can look at nose tackle. They have fucking Casey Hampton in the middle, and then all the couple other dudes they got, and their most linebackers, you at least say like dudes like Ferrier and all the other guys they had. You at least say made that defense work, along with Dick LeBeau doing what he does, at making it work at defensive coordinator. So if you want to talk about translating that to what the Cowboys need to do now, you could say that's a brilliant start to have. But then, of course, at the end of the day, we need fucking personnel. Even we start to a 4-3, we're still going to be stuck in the same thing. We're going to need players to make this shit work.
Gotta get some players.
You say, Trap?
I say gotta get some players, bro. Like we gotta hit in this draft. We gotta hit on the draft, and we gotta go get some dudes out of free agents. Like you say, get no anybody. Like we gonna have to get some dudes that's worthy of contract. Like you gonna have to down there get some dudes that you gonna have to go and pay, get some money to. Like something like get some dudes, bro. For real.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you're willing to be okay with just trading a first and a second, 2 firsts for Max Crosby, well, not Max Crosby, but I forgot from 3-4, I forgot. But if you're willing to do something like somehow, fucking get somehow trying to find a way to get TJ Watt out of Pittsburgh for whatever, I don't know how the hell you're gonna do it, but if you want something like that, that's your building base. So among other things, so something like that would be crazy, but you got to be willing to give a draft capital to get him out of Pittsburgh. But I mean, hell, we got George Pickens from there. Why the fuck not?
Yeah. I just feel like this, honestly, dog. I just feel like this is gonna be a 2-3 year span type of thing. This ain't nothing that's gonna happen over this year. We can start getting pieces this year for sure. You know what I'm saying? But like this, I feel like this shit this a slow cooker right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a slow cooker right here, baby. So,
but see, that's where I think we need to, be kind of like in the middle. Like, stop overhyping these guys. This is a great hire. Oh, it's fantastic. We stole him from the Eagles. Oh, he's the perfect hire. That's the shit that gets me, that make us look like we're so fucking delusional. And then when the shit don't go like it do, get his ass up out of here.
Hey, that's the fear. That's my fear when I mentioned that. I'm thinking to myself, I hope the brother, can make it work and help make this defense work. But then I'm thinking to myself, like, even if he somehow makes this defense top 10, if we make the playoffs, but if we fuck around and lose in the playoffs and get ourselves bounced in the first round, because, the game ends up turning to like we saw in the Seahawks Rams in the NFC Championship game. People are going to complain, the defense gave us 30 points. Why Chistian Parker, he was supposed to stop the defense from scoring 20. Why they give up 30? We lost 31-27. I'm like, okay, Seahawks Rams, yes, those two teams can play defenses, but they got quarterbacks who can go out there and score 30 if need be.
Exactly.
You're not going to. I'm thinking to myself, that's what gets me angry knowing that some of these motherfuckers don't get that. You're not going to shut down everybody in the playoffs. That's never a given. That's never a given. That's not how football. That's never how. You're not even going to get that in the regular season.
Right.
In the playoffs. I mean, like fucking our dude. Prescott's supposed to be MVP. Yeah, you mean to tell me he can't go up there and try to put up 30, score 40 points? I give him at least props for he's trying to keep up with the Packers game, but fucking. The defense, special teams had to go and block a punt for 2 points. The fucking James Houston got a sack fumble, helped get the Cowboys up to 16-13. Sure, he played well the rest of the way, but he wasn't 13-13, 14-14. But that translates to what I'm saying about the Parker hires. That I hope he can make it work, but we need him to get the players to make the system work. And most of all, even if we somehow can get into the playoffs with an improved defense. You don't know how a game's going to go. You just hope Dak in the office by a miracle can find a way to make it work. But if he don't, how are you going to blame the defense for that? Because our quarterback, once again, he has a functioning defense that could stop people. But okay, defense had a bad game in the playoffs, giving up over 30. But you lost 30-27 or something like that when Dak had a game-winning drive. He could have won the game for us, but fucks up and throws a pick in the end of it.
Yep.
And we seen him do this, and we seen this happen in the playoffs.
Touchdown, and we end up settling for losing or kicking a fucking field goal, but never going out and battling the other quarterback and prevail.
Don't damn point in the fourth quarter. Don't score a point in the fourth quarter. Shit.
Exactly. And I'm thinking to myself, that's where I'm thinking myself my concerns with the hire. Well, at least my own concern. Like I said, I think he has I think he's 34, but he'll be 35. He's no older than me. Actually, I'm just 34. But it just, the guy I'm thinking that, I would love for him to succeed as a Cowboy. Maybe he takes over for Sondheim one day if it don't work out. Maybe he gets it together, shows he can do, he got it and can coach the Cowboys. Maybe he can get us to a Super Bowl someday. I'm good with that. But then again, I know that, he still has to depend on Dak at the end of the day to help him win, to make his scheme work. Because there's no guarantee you're going to shut down everybody. And you need your offense to score and win. Yeah. If Dak doesn't show up and can't do that for you, how we're going to go up the impedance on Parker.
There's no defense because he's not gonna get no blame. They gonna say, "Well, if my offense go 27 points, we supposed to win that game."
Yeah, that's what they say.
If my quarterback score 28 points, we supposed to win that game. Not if the other team score 35. Motherfucker, yeah. You supposed to gas ass out there and man, come on, man.
Exactly, but then that kind of goes back to the issue. We talk about Dak. Thanks to George Pickens coming in, and Dak got his best season now. We had maybe a 2-year window at best with that to get us. I'm like, at that point in time, you got to realize, like, when did we ever had a window with Dak? 2016. No, I'm thinking to myself, 2016, they should have just put Romo back in when the team was doing well on a win streak. Yeah, Dak was doing all right, but you couldn't put him back there, let him learn, let Romo take over, because we almost damn near went to an NFC Championship game back in 2014 with him. Got cheated off the dead catch. But they fucked that whole thing up and made themselves stuck with Dak to try to justify, trying to justify themselves being proven right. But 2018, 2019, had those seasons fucked up. I mean, we saw it through 2021, 2023. If anything, I would say Micah and Dan Quinn, if you hate Micah's guts, was more responsible for the Cowboys succeeding in those years than what Dak did. Even if you hated Mike, even you hated Parsons' guts, you could have a case that he, in the defense having a turnaround was more important to the win than what Dak did throughout those years. So you had two, and the thing is, like the thing is, it bugs me about the whole we have a 2-year window with Dak, and he also got injured during those since 2020. He's also had 3 seasons where he's got hurt, missed 2 of those.
He missed mostly half of them.
Yeah. So it makes me think that, you're talking about 2026 going all in on defense. Well, thinking, okay, cool. But what's the next point in time? Even if you're talking about going in to try to fix the defense, my idea is with those 2 first-round picks, I still would basically, if you want to take my idea, I still use that on a quarterback. Hell, I take a chance on Ty Simpson. Could have fucking hurt. Get a defensive player, doesn't matter position. Defensive end, linebacker, corner, safety, we'll get that player first.
I totally agree with you, Samuel, but, man, they're not going to draft the quarterback. That's the thing, man. They're not gonna do it.
And I was just about to
I'm saying, since I'm just confident, like, they're not going to do it, I'm saying we got to stack the defense, especially change it to a 3-4 defense.
Yeah. No, I believe.
I wanted them to draft the quarterback last season.
I was just about to ask y'all that too, JB. I was just about to say, man, day 2, because we don't got another draft pick out in the first round to round 4?
Yeah.
Would you take a quarterback with that day 2 draft pick?
If you're talking about fourth round, that's day 3.
Oh, day
second
3?
and third. Yeah, the second and third round, that's day 2.
Nah.
Okay, so we don't draft until day 3 then, because we.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nah. I had to draft a quarterback higher than that.
You trying to draft a Dak? We got Dak ass in the 4th.
I mean, it'd be in the 4th round. Shit, that'd be another Dak. No.
I mean, you never. Well, yeah, but then again, you never fucking know. We could have just imagine somehow we hit. Well, then again, yes, but then again, we kept that around for 10 years. Who the hell say that we can't get anybody better in the 4th round than him? maybe we go look at our 4th-round quarterback somehow becomes our Joe Burrow, who we know is better than Dak. So I know we somehow landed that in the 4th round. We more or less got a quarterback that can get us to the Super Bowl at least if we play and do what we're supposed to do and build around him and just get that to the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so JB, you basically want to use one of them first for a quarterback.
Yeah. I want a real prospect, bro, to come up in here. I'm tired of to keep getting, quarterbacks that's trying to prove themselves and need time because they're not going to get the time with Dak Prescott there. But if you bring in somebody that's a top 10, at least top 10 prospect coming out, shit, that's a different story. That's like culture changer because that's putting some fire behind that. That's competition.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying?
You right. If they get somebody in them late rounds, his ass ain't gonna get no chance at all. You right.
We need to put a top prospect up in the Cowboys organization at quarterback position, bro. A lot of teams doing. You see Drake May, where he at? If Bo Nix wouldn't have got hurt, who he would have been?
Would have been the Super Bowl.
Come on, man.
Nah, for real.
The highest paid don't mean shit, but you need talent. So if you got a talented young quarterback, you definitely can build around him because he's cheap.
Number two,
you got this $60 million motherfucking dollar that you give him everything that you would give a Drake May, and Drake May don't even have what Dak Prescott got.
Selling up, you make a point about it, but of course, when you try to split,
Drake May throwing the ball too, bro. I don't know the move.
He has for Drake May's case, he has Stephon Diggs. Who ain't the same Stephon Diggs. He's got fucking Kyle Williams. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. No, he's still producing even with them. But I'm saying compared to, he doesn't have like what Brady had when he had Randy Moss and Wes Welker. He doesn't have that receiving core. But you can say he was still effective with what he was given and still put up MVP numbers with what he got. So
that's what I'm saying. He's still doing good with what he got. Like that he got some solid wide receivers, but they ain't CD and Amari. I mean CD and
Pickens, No, I agree, and that's where it kind of makes it kind of basically says, but it kind of highlights a lot. I mean, you could probably say the same thing with Jada Daniels. I live in Virginia, in the Hampton Roads area, and I had to live around Washington fans my whole life as a Cowboys fan. So obviously he had to make it work with Terry McLaurin, productive receiver for the longest. He never left Washington. Pretty much like Noah Brown, of all people, he was at the Cowboys who somehow made it work with Cooper, but he couldn't make it work with Dak. And wherever a bunch of motherfuckers you try to pick out of the lineup somehow.
Man, bro, in today's day, it's 2006, bro. It ain't as hard to like these quarterbacks ain't hard to. It ain't hard to pick quarterbacks like it was back then. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I agree with you.
Like nowadays, bro, these quarterbacks coming out like 9,000, bro. Like you'll be able to find you a quarterback at some point in time.
No, I agree with that. I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously, quarterback's still going to carry, the highest boom, and it also still going to carry the highest bust. But you are right about one thing: it has gotten easier to evaluate quarterback talent, now than ever. And our whole problem is over the years, it's then and just investing in first round quarterback in the first round has just always been, do they trust themselves to even get that right? Because even with everything else going in your favor, depending on if you're going to find a quarterback, you got to find one that So there's still going to be an element of luck to it. You got to find one that that's who you want and that you can depend on to basically be that franchise dude. So there's still that part. But obviously, yes, it's gotten easier now than ever that, hell, if you somehow the fact that Brock Purdy, who was the last motherfucker in the draft, somehow becomes a thing. So anything's possible at this point. If the Cowboys just bought into it, try to actually invest in it.
Right.
So let me read this comment from Paul Rock. He said Drake May gets carried. Y'all see Drake May getting carried?
Is he getting carried?
You like what? This is second year though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if he is getting carried, then you know what I'm saying? He doing a damn good job at what he doing and what he supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he got a good defense. He got a damn good defense. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Mhm.
that boy can fling that ball. I don't think he just know. Nah, I don't think he don't
Yeah,
know.
I think he's better than being carried. He got a good
Yeah,
team and he's making it do what it do.
and he
He's
make
not fucking up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's
He's
probably
doing
that's the
his job
problem.
on offense, man. I can't say he really being carried. I think
Yeah,
he got a team. And he's performing with his team.
exactly. Ain't right.
yeah.
He only scoring 10 points a game, 17 points a game. That's being carried. Dude, he can put up points, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, when he was on a roll, he can. And most of this playoffs, like in the Houston and Denver games, you can say that, yeah, he's made his mistakes, but those are good defenses he played. But most you can say the most he did was he just made the plays you're supposed to make.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part,
When
realizing
Dak
that.
had good defenses, he didn't make the plays he was supposed to make.
Give me,
ex-
And he
give me
still
that
don't now.
I need, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we said about Jalen Hurts. Okay, before this year he didn't look so good, but before that, man, when you need a drive, when you need a score, he gonna go give it to you. Give me.
man, I'm sorry.
I take that. I take that anytime, bro. Like because you got some quarterback that when my team need a drive, when we need a score, I ain't coming off this field until we get what we need. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that ain't in that. You know that ain't in.
No, man, Hurst is an interesting case because in the two Super Bowl appearances he had, you can say I'll admit those performances was good, even though you kind of wonder how in the world he's able to make that work against the Chiefs, but somehow they damn time, sure he'll make a play or two that he has, but then other times it's like, the hell is this problem? So it does sound like, but you're right though. He in those two Super Bowls, he did what he's supposed to. Put up numbers to keep his team in the game, especially against Mahomes and the Chiefs, where you kind of need your quarterback to be able to do that.
Super Bowl, he still pulled it out.
He still pulled it out. Like, you need a first down, he gonna go get it with his legs, with whatever. He gonna go get it. That's what the quarterback's supposed to do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, in the crunch time, when the game on the line, man, I ain't got that confidence in that. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
I mean, put it this way, just for a reference, like, especially when you're talking about in regards to the whole, people had the whole Dak and Roma debate. Like, people forget that, yeah, Roma didn't win a Super Bowl either. Yes, he made some mistakes, but then you think about the dude had like 27, 28 game winning drives. That's the most in the team in the Cowboys team history. And we see him with 100 quarterback rating in the fourth quarter. No other quarterback, shocking enough, not even Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, or anybody else has that, that record. But he does. So even when he made his mistakes, and you can say, yeah, it may not have been in the playoffs outside maybe 2014, but I can reference that, 2014 Detroit game, that 4th and 6 that we needed, that the Cowboys needed to keep that drive alive to get back in the game and win it. That would never have made that call to be like, would never, realize, they never made that audible call and basically changed up to the right play and basically made that first down. And in the end, through that game when he tried, he would never make that play, but Romo did. So for all the mistakes that occurred, hell, I'd rather have Romo back in there, especially in those 2021, 2023 teams where those games against the Niners, they were not blowouts. Dak and the offense had played better in both those games. They could have won. They could have won those games. San Francisco wasn't unstoppable. They fucking weren't.
We got our head blown. That playoff game against the Vikings after we beat who they were, Philly.
Yeah.
I had blowed up by Brett Favre.
Yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't block. Nobody could block worth a damn in that game. And yeah, he didn't have a good game, but unfortunately, neither did the offensive line. Of course, that Vikings team was good that year. So
this is what it was with me with Romo. This is why I say Romo and Dak is really the same person to me. Honestly, I feel like that Romo a little bit better than that. But honestly, I feel like when it came down to them win or get in games. You know what I'm saying? Well, we win, we in at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? We had like 2,
Mm,
3 games. You know what I'm saying? And he
mm.
was 4-3 in all of them. You know what I'm saying? Romo. So
Nah,
Romo, he was good. He had his times, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Him and Dak the same person to me, honestly. You know
So
what I'm
Dak
saying?
leads the league in fourth quarter wins.
and where? Not from what I remember.
Regular
At
season.
least he was.
Hey, bro, like I tell people, bro, numbers don't lie, but they damn sure could be deceiving. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's all that is, bro. Like that shit be Dak numbers is deceiving like a motherfucker.
And the crazy thing is, as much as people want to talk about going to prop up his numbers. Well, how the hell did he prop up those numbers? He needed he needed a good team, especially on offense, to be able to help him prop up those numbers. What, you think he's able to pull out those numbers with nobodies or decent dudes on offense? No, he couldn't have. He never did. Like I said, he's not Josh Allen,
But
who
you
has
say,
to work with players that are barely better than fucking Ryan Fenoy.
JB,
And
Yeah.
so they saying Dak got more. You said game winning touchdowns or what he got more?
He
What
said, let me see. He said Dak leads the league in fourth quarter wins.
he leads the league in fourth quarter wins. So is that with Peyton Manning, Tom? You saying he got more fourth quarter
I
wins?
don't know. I ain't never seen that stat. I never heard of that shit.
Because if
he's
you talking about Days League, shit probably is because he the oldest motherfucker in the league. Like he got
He
the
probably got them all against the NFC East.
yeah. I don't know what the hell that is. I can't.
I don't know.
unless he's talking about who's there currently, but even then, he's been playing around the same time Mahomes has, and we saw Mahomes have play a full court comeback. So I had to maybe check and look back at that, but he's
I
playing
don't
around the same time Mahomes has. So and Josh Allen even.
you need to
So
post them stats. You need to post. Hey, Paul Rock, you need to post that shit. Where you get that shit from? Show that shit.
Because if you talking about current, bro, like the league full of young bucks right now. So he been playing longer than damn the quarterback in the league right now. So that's why I say them numbers can be deceiving, bro.
remember, he's also played around when Mahomes was still there, but Josh Allen more or less in the same time. Lamar Jackson still here. Baker Mayfield more or less in that same time frame.
After
So that's
Lamar after that, all them do. You know what I'm saying? Mahomes and Josh probably was there with probably about the same time, but Lamar after that.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about just as a whole from like 2016 onwards. When the 10-year span of other quarterbacks that came in after that come in.
Right.
Should have been more specific than that. That was my fault. But during that time again, Mahomes showed up a year after in 2017, then 2018 onwards, did what he did, and he was able to have 3 rings. Why Dak couldn't do 3 rings? What took Mahomes within the less of that time frame to do that?
But then again, you gotta take accountability of them dudes. Don't put they don't really put their team in the hole to have to come back all the time. They he do. You know what I'm saying? They do be in close games to the point where they have to have comebacks or whatever, fourth quarter, whatever. But Dak, he's always in the hole where he got to dig us out of fucking, you know what I'm saying, from being down or coming back and shit. For the most part, Mahomes, he gonna take care of his competition. Them dudes, they blowing shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No,
they play all 4 quarters, bro.
Yeah, they play all 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying? So it be, they have don't get me wrong, they have their times where they down and they come back, but probably not as much as Dak because we always in the hole with this motherfucker.
Well, the difference between, if you want to say with Dak, we're in the hole, that probably depends on what hole you're talking about per se. But then if we're down like two touchdowns, like, no, we're not going to. We were down by 2 touchdowns already. He's not going to dig. The motherfucker ain't going to dig us out of that hole. Might as well just call it a wrap. Or at least Romo's worst case scenario. Yeah, he digs us in a hole sometimes, but at least tries to get out as a hole. At least in some ways, unless the game was already done, he at least more or less, worst case scenario, dig us out of a hole, but there's a chance either, it's 50-50. Either we win this game or not. But at least I know he won't go out like a punk. You can call him a lot of things, but I won't call him a coward. Unfortunately, Dak sometimes just flat out. If as we saw, in those games, in those moments, if we're down 2 already, other outside maybe that Atlanta game in 2020, it might as well just call it a day. We fucked it up and lost.
What up, Teflon? What's up, bro?
What's up with you, JB? What's up with it, fellas?
What's up,
How y'all
bro?
doing?
It's all good, man. Y'all boys better be careful, man. Y'all over talking about Dak, man. Y'all know he got a cult, bro.
Hey, shit, you know where I stand on that, bro. I don't give a damn.
I already know, man. I don't understand, bro, why people can't see the writing on the wall with Dak, man. Like I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like this. I ain't saying Dak just the worst quarterback in the world and trash and all that, but what I'm saying is, what I be trying to point out to him is, Dak ain't what y'all try to make him out to be.
Mm-hmm.
These I'm talking about these Dak lovers, bro. He's not all world, man. You know what I'm saying? We steady. We steady. When we do make the playoffs, we get in, and then we get smoked. So they say, well, it ain't Dak's fault. It's a team sport. Okay. Y'all say that when we lose, but when we win, y'all give Dak all the praise.
Yep.
Like it ain't a team sport no more. And I don't understand that shit, man. It's like you win as a team, you lose as a team, bro. And Dak has been a big part of the reason why we've lost some of these big games, man. Just got to be real about it, be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't sugarcoat shit. I just feel like tell the truth about the Cowboys, man. Like, I mean, 31 years is enough, man. I just feel like it's time to stop spitting out fluff. Letting Jerry Jones or whoever, just tell you is just piss on you and tell you it's rain, bro. He can't sell me no more.
Right.
He can't sell me no more. I have to see it. Let me see something. They saying that things are changing, Jerry changing, things are different. And I'm like, man, we ain't played a game yet. We missed the playoffs the last 2 years. I don't want to hear no positive talk when the results have not been positive. Dak's entire career here, we ain't won shit.
They gotta keep their subscribers bought in on Teflon so they can keep getting their checks. I ain't hating, bro. Like, make your money, bro. But hey, I know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta be real about my team, man. I ain't fuck that shit, bro. I
That's why I
don't even
fuck with
feel
you.
right by celebrating. The Eagles lost. The Eagles lost in the. The Eagles lost in the playoffs, and you got Cowboy fans happy about that shit. Like, what are you happy about? You didn't even make the playoffs. Why are you celebrating another team losing, but you can't be happy for your team? We supposed to be winning.
In a way, I get it. But then again, it's like
talk shit or say nothing to another team right now because the situation of my Cowboys. How can you talk shit to anybody when we ain't doing a goddamn thing?
No, I agree with that. I think it's just one of those. Well, it's a rivalry situation. Like, put it this way. I was in a
rivalry. We ain't rivaling them when they making the playoffs and we not. Like, come on, man.
I'm just saying that's just how I'm just saying that's how that mindset goes. I'm not saying I agree with you. I'm not saying I don't disagree. I'm just saying that's how that mindset goes. If the shoe was on the other foot, and the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs, everybody else who hated our guts would have just basically wanted us out there as soon as possible. Of course, it doesn't help that somehow we fucked that up and made their job, and we fucked that up. If we were able to compete and stay in the playoffs, yeah, I think that would basically kind of get, kind of change everything about the team. But unfortunately, until that can finally do that, we're kind of just stuck like, damn, what the fuck just happened? What the fuck we gonna do about it?
I look at it like this, bro. I kind of equate Dak Prescott to LeBron James. Y'all give me a minute. Let me explain.
Go ahead.
LeBron, I've seen a lot of his playoff games, bro. Different teams he switched to. And in those games, I actually watch and analyze the game, and I watch his play and I watch everybody else's play. LeBron had playoff games where he done scored 30, 32, 33, 34 points, whatever. But I'm watching who actually hitting them crucial shots, who actually keeping them in the game, who actually making the defensive play, who's actually doing what. And at the end of the game, LeBron got 34 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. So that team, they lose. So you'll have his lovers being like, well, it wasn't Dak's fault. It wasn't LeBron's fault. He got 34, 8. And that's kind of like that. We'll lose the game, and Dak will go, 22 for 31 or something like that. He could throw for 200, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. So they be like, no, look at his stats, though, bro. It wasn't Dak's fault. That defense didn't do this, and that defense didn't. And it's like, bro, if you truly watch that game, Dak put the defense in compromising positions a lot. He has. I've seen Dak have a good playoff game. I saw the Tampa Bay Buck game. I saw the Seattle game when he won. This dude got 2 playoff wins. I'm sitting there watching Drake May have 3. Drake May been here 1 year. Explain that to me. So you mean to tell me Dak only has 2 playoff wins because it's always been the defense? Always?
Always.
For 10 years?
Since 2016, Teflon. It's been the defense since 2016. It's always the defense fault with this guy. When he has some of the best defenses in the league.
And the point, and they keep ignoring the context. You want to go back to 2016 in that Green Bay game. That Green Bay defense was one of the worst ever. We just saw after they beat Dallas in that game, we just saw Atlanta basically put over 40 on them, and pretty much went to the Super Bowl that easily because of that. And our offense was also top 10 during that time too, with Zeke and with everybody else, the offensive line, Zeke and the running game working at a historic level. How the hell? And that was the same defense that wasn't better than the one Romo faced in that 2014 game, in that 2014 divisional playoff. It wasn't. That defense is not the same.
Yeah.
And that defense wasn't the same. So the fact that we only mustered 28 out of 14, go 4 quarters of 13 points in 4 quarters in that game, throughout the whole game with just 13 points against a defense that wasn't worth a damn, that makes me angry. And the same thing 2018. In that 2018 Rams defense, when it had prime Aaron Donald, that defense was mainly at best. 6-7 games where they gave up over 30 points, including that, that Rams Chiefs Monday night game where they were scoring up damn near 100 combined. And the fact that people want to say, oh, well, the defense lost this because they got ran up for 200 yards. Yes, they fucked up getting run over like that. But our offense scored 7 throughout most of the game. Couldn't stay in the field, help the defense out, couldn't try to put points on the board. We ended up losing 25-13. When is the off? And then the issue always comes back to a pattern of the defense takes the blame because the offense, because they want to use team game like that. Well, in that case, they're going to have to admit that Dak and the offense fucked up just as bad as the defense, or perhaps even more so, because they had chances to make the game competitive, at least, to give themselves a chance to perhaps win the game, on some momentum in some way. But they sold completely. And you're basically you want to throw the defense under the bus and that contradicts, their whole team game theory, because that means they had to admit that Dak fucked up. But who wants to go out there and admit it?
Right.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit that shit. They don't really believe in team. They don't really believe in team game like that. They'll use that as a convenient excuse. But they never did it for his predecessor, even when someone else, the person said the Sport 78 comment, sorry to throw that name drop on the comment, mentioned that Dak had 7 out of 10 years of his career, he had a top 10 scoring defense. Roman never had more than barely 1 or 2. So if you can't do nothing with that, at that point in time, is he really better than his predecessor? Maybe he couldn't be if he couldn't make do what he's got. If he couldn't push that team to a championship.
The leader of the team is supposed to be your QB. Dak can't lead the dog to shit. Bro, Man, but he's the leader of the team, man. He is more responsible for the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Determine how we play as a team and coming out with a victory. And he got the C on his chest. He's the highest paid. He's supposed to set the example. He's the face of the team. I mean, the quarterback position in itself, you are the leader. And when something don't go right, it falls on you because you are supposed to have. Even when they try to blame the offensive line on them when they get penalties, false starts to shit. He supposed to be on top of that. If the defense ain't good, where he at walking down the field talking to the defense? He don't be on the sideline talking to nobody. If the offensive line fuck up, if they so called, if the defense fuck, he ain't talking to nobody. He just sitting there. Yeah, he don't even talk. Do we talk to the receivers? Only if they having to get a touchdown. He might be over there dapping them up and shit. But when they do something wrong, run the wrong route or cause a penalty, do he even say anything? Where's the fire from him as a leader?
Because he
You
can't.
don't
He
see
know
him
the
on the
people.
sideline saying shit to nobody,
'Cause
correcting nobody on anything.
I feel like he don't do it because he know they don't respect him like that. Like to be that type of leader, you gotta bag it up with your play. Nigga, you out here fucking up, so you can't really tell them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think them dudes really like respect his ass like that to the point where they'll just we feel I'm gonna make sure I catch this ball for him. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to run through a wall for him. Like I feel like they be saying they know like they be listening to that like man he do the same shit. Go down the line, dap everybody up, and like man, they don't believe in that man. You know what I'm saying? We don't even believe in them as fans. Shit. So I look at it like
Well,
this. Bro.
yeah. At least most of us, with some sense, don't. But then you gotta remember we're a big fan base, so you're gonna have motherfuckers that do.
I forgot.
I
forgot about his deck. His deck. What you call him, JB? Goddamn, Jack.
Who that? Well, what'd you say?
I forgot about the macaronis. I'm pretty sure they believe in him.
Oh, Slurpees.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Them back fanboy Slurpees, and we got a few of them up in here right now, like this guy Paul Rock. If you don't have a good run game and a good defense, you're not winning shit. Now tell me when Dak never had that. In his 10-year career, he never had a good run game and he never had a good defense. This dude right here is sounding like one of the king Slurpees there is.
Okay, why we didn't win shit when Zeke was here? Why we didn't win shit when Zeke was here? Oh, the defense. I know. See, I done been in these arguments, man. I done been in these arguments before with people who love Dak. And I asked them, I said, okay, if it's the run game, then why we didn't win shit when Zeke was here? If we had a run game.
Yeah,
well, the
we did.
Wasn't that good? Okay.
And Pollard.
I about to say was the year him and Pollard went off when we had him and Pollard and the defense was balling. Why we
right?
San Francisco sent our ass to the house because you threw 2 fucking pickoffs.
And you know what, bro? I try to be fair as I can be because it ain't been Dak's fault. The 31 years ain't been Dak's fault.
No, not the 31 years.
More than years, but we already knew that. That part of it we knew.
Yeah. I'm going somewhere with it, but the 31 ain't been Dak. I don't blame Dak for that.
I put that on Jerry Jones.
I
last 10 years.
But this the thing with me, bro. This the thing with me. It's always been something. You dig? It's always been something. It's the front office. It's the coaches. It's the defense. And it's Dak. They all play a part in this shit. They've all played a part in this shit, man. I don't just focus on Dak. And I don't think these other brothers do that either.
Nope.
But it's when y'all come up here in comments and acting like we just always talking about that. Nah, man, this is an organizational problem.
Right.
This is a organizational thing, man. Like Dak is just a part of the shit. He's a huge part of the shit simply because he plays the quarterback position,
right?
Which makes him a huge part of it. I know quarterbacks, they actually lift a team up that ain't that good. They lift, they play that when they're not that good. How do you explain? I understand New England got a defense. I get it. But how do you explain a Drake May coming into the league as a youngster? Now he in the Super Bowl. How do you explain a Sam Darnold who was outcasted, said he seen ghosts, go over there to Seattle after coming from Minnesota, and now he's in the Super Bowl? How do you explain a Jaden Daniels, rookie in the league, come in the league with Washington, and Washington been trash for years?
I know. You're right.
Next thing you know, they in the NFC Championship game. Why are all these people surpassing Dak, the great Dak, bro? If you want to, you know what I'm saying? It's an organizational thing. Our organization hasn't been run right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches that they have chosen, that Jerry has chosen to be our head coaches, have not coached or had a coaching staff that's good.
True.
And Dak Prescott has not raised his level of play to raise his teammates.
I mean, you're right.
It's a combination of a lot of things, a lot of moving parts, man. So it's like until this organization figures this shit out, figures out, you know, the way we've been running things and doing business ain't gonna work. Until they accept that, this is gonna be the same old shit. We're gonna be bashing Dak ass next year. We're gonna be bashing his ass the year after that because the whole organization is fucked.
Yep.
I mean,
it's like with the Drake May thing you say, bro. I look at Michael Kraft, Mike, whatever the owner name over there in New England, bro.
Kraft,
dude really know how. You know, man. That man got a great organization over there, bro. He run his shit like, man. The way that man run that team, bro, it's immaculate, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
This is about football.
It's about football, man.
Yeah.
It's about football, man. He gonna hire the people, the coaches and everything, the football people to do football, and he gonna focus on them crab macaronis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna focus on these crab macaronis. Y'all just do the football shit. I'm just gonna pop up at the game every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the cool things, you know, one of the things that kind of gets me, you know, as much as Jerry made his money for years on the team, you would think that the team's worth $13 billion already as it is. And this is without winning a championship in over 30 years. And you think if he cares so much about winning, you win. The winning helps you make money. Winning championships with the Dallas Cowboys makes you not just more money in the process in a lot of ways. So you're thinking, why in the world he didn't just do the simple thing and just take that same mindset of hiring people who know what they're doing, hiring the best coaching staffs, you know, get a good football, people in the office, get, good football coaches, try to invest in free agency, the draft, and make any trades you can to get to build the best team to build the best team that the Dallas Cowboys can send them. It's kind of simple because more or less, regardless, we've been on TV for years, regardless of whether we've been good or we've been rough. And you thinking that this old dude, and you thinking $13 billion, like we're the most popular sports franchise in the world. You thinking shit. And this is what I win in a championship. You thinking if you think that, you want to make more money, you think investing in building a competitive team to win championships will motivate the motherfucker to basically get off his ass and do something. It's not bullshit. You would think. But then it's like.
So in the 90s, when Jimmy walked away, or however that went down, Jerry came out and said he can get one of 1,000 coaches to coach his team and win a Super Bowl. So he went and got Barry Switzer, and we lost in the NFC Championship game in '94.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and this is why I give Barry a little credit because Barry was able to rally them dudes to win it in '95.
Mm-hmm.
After Barry won that in '95, Jerry felt like, see, prove my point.
Uh-huh.
And he ain't been trying to win since. You see what I'm saying? He felt like he's proven
his
what
point.
he wanted to prove that he could win a championship without Jimmy.
That's a good take right there, Teflon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he proved that. He proved that point in his mind.
He proved his point. So all he want to do right now is just live, chill, play. Have a football team where there's not really he not really, setting the standard and holding everybody accountable to win Super Bowls. He's just if we win, we score some points and all this shit for the
Mhm.
basically a highlight reel for a team to just keep people coming back and shit.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, we want to win Super Bowls, but he like just like you said, he basically kind of done really in a sense.
He ain't
And
got
he's
that.
kind of showing it for these last 31 years because that's a good ass fucking point, bro. He
I
like,
mean,
I proved my point. I ain't got
So,
nothing else to prove.
so
Yeah.
basically,
I,
after that '94 Super Bowl, because I was born in '92, so I don't remember none of them motherfuckers.
I, I mean, I'm born in '92 myself, so
So basically, after that '94 Super Bowl, that's what woke up the beast right there.
Yeah, see, the 94 Super Bowl, the 94, we was in the NFC Championship game. We lost to San Francisco.
I mean, the '95, my fault. The
Yeah,
'95.
yeah. So Jerry felt, he was like, oh, shit. 95, when they got the shit together, when got Dion in 95,
Okay.
they felt he was the missing piece. And it put us over the top and we won. At that point, Jerry was like, shit, I've told y'all I can win without Jimmy. So he was all about credit the entire time because in 92, in 93 and 92, when Jimmy won, Jimmy was getting majority of the credit, even though we recognize, Jerry, you spent the money. You part of this too, just like what Robert Kraft doing in New England.
Right.
When Brady and Belichick was winning,
Right.
Kraft was getting props, but Kraft didn't give a damn. Kraft stayed in the background. He was like, yeah, I know, we good. I'm a good ass owner.
Right.
The problem is our owner and our GM is the same person. So the motherfucker ain't gonna fire himself.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
So he gonna ride this out, and I remember him saying what was that last off season when he was saying it ain't a GM in the NFL that can do a job better than him. Well, Jerry, you delusional as fuck.
We knew that already. But you kind of proved your point already that one of the points you made was Jerry always wanted credit. And the funny thing, but then again, another school of thought would be, well, you could say that maybe he proved that point with Switzer, but then you think like, well, over time, it's like, you could say he's easily settled, but then you feel like Jerry still wants to prove himself to be our quote unquote. He wants to try to be everything. Basically, wants to be both a businessman and a football guy at the same time. But it's like, you motherfucker, pick a struggle. So you want to be a businessman or a football guy, but you can't be both, especially if you're not good at both.
And then Jerry, he in his mind, y'all know this. Jerry win the financial Super Bowl every motherfucking year. Every year he wins the financial Super Bowl.
All right.
So the Super Bowl ain't been really mattering to him. And for people to sit around here and say, well, Shotty calling the shots now. Okay, y'all think that? Okay, Jerry gonna show y'all Shotty ain't running shit.
No, because I'm gonna cut you off, Teflon, but man, you making a good point. I gotta say that if Shotty was calling the shots, he would have been running the ball to the expectation. I think he would have been running it more. But since Jerry in control of shit and he paid back that money, that's why we're bullshit in the red zone because they got to prove a point with Dak Prescott throwing touchdowns, CD Lamb, and George Pickens. But if we would have gave the ball more to Javonte Williams in the red zone and in goal-to-goal situations, we probably would have won more games. We would have scored more touchdowns. We're not going to emphasize the run. And that's what we need to be really successful with the quarterback we have. We must emphasize the run at a high level. But they're not going to do it. Shotty lied. McCarthy lied. And I don't think Shotty going to do it anymore. He probably run about the same or probably even less this season. Let us draft a wide receiver because they're going to do some dumb shit like that. Draft a fucking wide receiver when we should be going defense because they're not going to draft a quarterback. But watch. They probably even draft a fucking running back. So I wish I don't think we need neither. I think we got good enough receivers and good enough running back situation right now. That for what for the top 5 elite MVP he is, we have enough of that. So he should better maximize with that. So I'm saying if we're not gonna get a quarterback or even draft one, we need to beef up the motherfucking defense. Because, bro, that was an excellent point, man. God damn.
Oh man, but check this out though. So this is why my expectations is low for this upcoming season in the next 2-3 years. When I heard Stephen Jones come out and say a couple years ago, well, Super Bowls aren't won in the off season. I said, oh shit. Oh shit. So what the fuck do we have the draft, free agency, OTAs, training camp, and preseason for, Stephen? If they're not won in the off season. I mean, I get what he was trying to say. Like, you got to play the games in the regular season and play in the playoffs. Okay, but that's stupid for him to have that position that he has. Just come out and say something like that. Okay, that explains why y'all don't do shit in free agency, then, Steve. Because in your mind,
that explains why we don't go nowhere fucking well. Because we got the youngins. They depend on the draft.
Yep.
And that's why we always sit back because, bro, we get good, like we can get damn good draft picks, but if you ain't got no veterans to oversee them, you know what I'm saying? Then the shit ain't gonna work out, bro.
Yeah.
And then this part, I ain't trying to take it over, bro, but this shit just this part.
Go ahead, bro.
What Steven said at the Senior Bowl this year. When he said one of the biggest reasons why they went on and with Chistian Parker is because Chistian Parker told them he can work with the guys they got. I said, uh-oh. So in my mind, now I could be wrong, and I'm hoping I'm wrong because I'm a Cowboy fan and I want us to win. But in my mind, what I heard was we ain't gonna do much in free agency. Chistian Parker said he can work with the grocers we got.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. You said Chistian Parker said that?
No. Stephen Jones said that that's one of the part of the reasons why they hired Chistian Parker, because he impressed them in the interview process when he said he can pretty much work with what we already have on defense.
How the fuck he gonna do that when we got subpar or to below 4-3 philosophy ran
But hey,
players.
Just like Mike McCarthy, sometimes you got to lie to get the job, JB. Sometimes you got to lie to get the job, JB.
He's changing the whole philosophy to a 3-4. We don't have not one single player on this defense that can run the 3-4 defense, bro. We don't have the talent for that. How is he gonna use the players we got to do that, man? Are you insane? We don't have not one goddamn top 5 linebacker, and you need damn near 4 of them.
Yep.
We don't have a nose tackle. We don't have a beast that can play the A and the B gap.
Yep.
We don't have that as nose tackle. What the fuck is he talking about? He going, man.
So what I see is about to happen, and I hope I'm wrong, is what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to use this draft. They might, either that 12th or that 20th pick is gonna get traded back. Okay. So they're gonna try to accumulate a third or possibly a second or something. They're gonna try to fill these holes defensively with the draft, and then do what they did when Stephen Jones said they're gonna be selectively aggressive and go out here and hire and sign bottom bin free agents to try to fill the rest of this roster. And we're gonna be looking at another 7-9, 6-10, 7-10 ass season. And they're gonna be at the end of the season acting like, what went wrong? I don't understand. It's because you motherfuckers don't spend money. Veterans win Super Bowls, man.
Exactly.
You got to go hit this free agency, and you got to hit it hard. I'm talking about week 1.
Right.
Before everybody's snatched up. So you out here talking about, well, we made an offer. Stephen Jones, you be trying to lowball free agents, bro. That's why they don't sign her. And so but you can come out and say, well, we made an offer. They just didn't take. Yeah, motherfucker, you made a disrespectful offer. You feel me? I see their game, bro, and I've been peeping their game all of the 2000s. I've been peeping how they run this shit. People don't want to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we ain't gonna never get it right until these motherfuckers change the way they do business.
And the crazy thing is about that, consider, when they try to make it all between, Steven, Charlotte, and fucking Jerry Jr. Because, once Jerry passes, that's when they're gonna try to run the whole thing between the three of them. You know what the crazy thing is? Well, I get the feeling that somehow Charlotte might be the only person in there that if she considering that she might not even be, she might be somehow be the one that might be having a chance to turn the Cowboys around because like her brother, her dad, she at least can admit to the fact that she don't know shit about football.
Yeah.
She at least be honest about that part about herself. She doesn't know football. She just runs the the marketing department and everything else with it.
She'll go get the right people to do the job.
Exactly. And and that's the thing. I'm thinking if out of those three, she might be the only one. She at least is self-aware enough to know that she doesn't know football. She'll actually try to find people in the office who can basically invest in football. And the whole thing about Steven is his whole problem is that he always, I think, going back to maybe years ago when they had to spend all that money on Dion and free agency, when that started to become a thing, it cost them, it got them, the Cowboys, to a Super Bowl, then won that third Super Bowl 4 years. But then they're kind of worried about having to try to work around that money and try to make it work during that time. But that's always been his whole thing. He always wanted to try to.
When they got burnt, my bad, bro. I ain't even cut you out.
No, you go ahead.
When they got burned by Brandon Carr with that contract,
good reference.
Backed off of spending money.
God damn, Teflon, well, you hit on some major motherfucking good ass points.
Yeah,
I bet he's not wrong. But he's not wrong though to kind of point that out. I think even though Brandon Carr after that didn't work out,
it's like everything he said, what you said, bro, is really come to fruition and falling right into the attitude and the choices that the organization when Jerry Jones was making, man, and how he governed the team and drafting and free agency. You know what I'm saying, man? Good point, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah.
For sure, man. That's what I'm here for, bro. I like to bring the truth to the people, man, so they won't be blinded going into the season thinking the Joneses done changed. No, they ain't fucking changed. Let's see what happens in free agency. That would tell me if they changed or not.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What up, Cowboy champ? What's up?
Man, you know what? I said the same thing earlier. In a show earlier, I said I said before I pass any judgment, let's see what Parker do. Let's see how he bring in his coaches. Let's see what players they pick up in free agency, and let's see how they draft before we pass any type of judgment or try to predict what type of defense they're going to run. But nothing's going to change not until they get rid of Jerry as GM and number 4.
Hey, man.
I mean, that's understood by that point. We already understood that. But put it this way, we know Jerry, he is also an 84-year-old man. Because, we were thinking so eventually, one way or the other, he's going to be out, at least in Dak's case. Well, though, even if you're talking about Jerry even somehow still being around, you still got to consider the possibility that at least, let's just say somehow, if the Cowboys somehow find a way to improve the defense, yet the team still gets, the team either fall short of the playoffs or somehow they get to the playoffs and fucked it up. Someone on the lines, they're going to have to realize that, you're going to have to start over quarter. So even if somehow Jerry's still around, at least they're going to come to the who's that somewhere on the line. Dak ain't it. You gave him everything else. You still going to have to, and he still couldn't give us a Super Bowl. At least you can go out there. Now they're going to have to eat the fact that, we're going to have to get another quarterback and actually try for one for a change.
See,
however they're going to do it.
Confused about Dak after his, let me see, when they was going into trying to sign him to his, what was that, second contract, third contract?
Yep.
Okay. I think they re-signed him. I think they messed up because what they should have did was go hard in free agency, go hard in the draft, give Dak everything he needed. No excuses no more.
Mm-hmm.
And if he would have failed like he did, then I'll be like, yeah, Dak, you ain't it. We searching for a quarterback now. See, they always leave an excuse for him. The defense ain't good enough, or the receivers ain't good enough, or we ain't got no running game, or the O-line ain't good. They've always left an excuse for that, for fans to follow on, the Dak lovers, for them to fall back on and say, well, we didn't have this and we didn't have that. Well, the coach wasn't, and the coaches, and you know what I'm saying? If Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones was smart, they would have they would have gave him the best coaches. They would have gave him the best receivers, the best running game, the best defense, the best. Now, you can't fuck this up, Dak. You can't fuck this up. This will show us whether we need to give you another contract or not.
Well, you know what? This year it wasn't no excuse. They brought in Pickens, They had a running back. You had a 4,000 receiver, 2,000 yard, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Don't give a damn because they still at home. But I call them a Daccaronis. Daccaronis still saying that the defense was the one that was the problem. Who gives a shit? The problem is when they brought in Eberflus, they knew that this team was going to suck.
I mean, I think Dak should have known that what going on with the defense before him to open up his mouth and say he was going to see. He said to the Rams owner he going to see him in the championship game.
That was just
man.
him.
We knew this defense at the beginning of the season wasn't all that, bro.
Well, yeah. Once we decided they were going to go and let Micah go, it wouldn't take genius to figure out that there's the rest of the team was going to take a setback on defense because they ain't got nobody to try to replace them. Okay, cool. You got rid of Micah.
I was going to go finish your statement.
I was going to say they had nobody to replace once they traded Micah because they already made up their mind to pay because they hated his guts. Okay, you did that. We got 2 draft picks, first-round picks. A lot of fucking good that did. But, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. You remember when they traded for Quentin Williams, this year second and next year first?
Mm-hmm.
How y'all feel about that trade now?
Now that he going to a 3-4?
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Look, man. That whole Micah situation, I don't like Micah. Never have. I don't like Micah because Micah is like that. Regular season champion. Playoffs, big games, no show. Scary too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when they traded Micah, I was all for that. I just feel like they traded him to the wrong team.
Mm-hmm.
They should have waited it out. They should have called Cleveland. Hey, Cleveland, look here. We know y'all gonna be in the top 5 of the draft next year. Wouldn't y'all like to pair Michael Parsons up with Garrett? Shoot me 2 firsts. Shoot me 2-3 firsts. You know what I'm talking about? A couple of in a second. Boom. Okay. Cleveland's such a dumb organization, bro. They would have done that. They would have been like, "Ooh, Michael Parsons and Myles Garrett on the same defense? Hell yeah, okay, y'all got a deal." I just feel like they traded them to the wrong team because remember, Green Bay was already a playoff team. They was already good. They didn't really need Micah defensively because they had a pass rush. But they did it because he's a name. Micah made his name in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Micah is not no damn generational talent. Just because he can rush the quarterback and he fast, that makes him a generational talent. Nah, man, generational people are Lawrence Taylor. That's what generational look like.
True.
Yeah.
Playmakers. Micah don't make big plays in big moments, dog.
Nope.
Micah a beast against the Giants. He a beast against a team that's lesser. But when he go up against a good defensive, good left tackle or right tackle, he a no-show. Look at what Trent Williams was doing to him. Where was he at in them San Francisco playoff games?
Nowhere to be found.
You see what I'm saying? So everybody that be like, man, we shouldn't have traded Michael. Yes, the fuck we should, because it was a Herschel Walker type of trade. We didn't get as much as we got, like for Herschel, but he was an asset. Michael was an asset at the time. He was hot. Everybody liked him on other teams. So then you trade him at his highest trade value. And they did. I just think they could have got more. They just picked the wrong team, Green Bay.
There's that, but really, I'm sorry. The thing is, if they wanted to trade, yeah, you're right. They could have got for more, but they should have traded him to another team. But the thing is, if they knew they were gonna keep Michael around, they could have done that shit in the offseason, trading him before the season even started. You could have gotten maybe more 2 firsts, possibly a second, maybe another third. You could have had you could have more.
When he asked for the trade, I don't think it really went off than him asking for a trade. I don't know if Jerry never really thought about trading. So
Jerry offered him the most money.
Right.
Jerry offered him a nice contract, bro. He turned that down. Because
have y'all noticed he don't even do the podcast no more?
Oh, I seen the report on that. Man, that Green Bay front office and his teammates told him, "Nah, Michael, not here, man. We think you need to focus more on football. You injured right now. Get yourself healthy so we can go into next year and you be right." That's why he ain't doing the podcast no more.
Mm.
I seen the article on that. We was
But
telling him here in Dallas the whole time, man, you need to stop podcasting and focus on the game. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do
that because we got a idiot GM.
it.
Yo, Sports 78, what's up, bro? Let me bring the Sports 78 up on here, y'all.
What's up, man?
How
What's
you
going
doing?
on?
I
How
How you
y'all
appreciate it.
doing,
doing?
sir? How you doing?
Good, man. With this Micah shit, I totally agree with you that he didn't warrant the contract that Green Bay gave him or whatever Jerry was going to give him. What I think Micah did do was I think he hid a lot of the deficiencies that we saw on this defense, right? So like obviously the pass rush was not what it was when he was here. So I think
Mm-hmm.
now you saw how bad Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson could be if you don't get a rush. You
Mhm.
saw
Mm-hmm.
those corners playing in a scheme that really didn't fit what they do best, and you weren't getting a pass rush. You know, they shopped at the dollar store for linebacker, and we saw how that turned out. And
Mm-hmm.
they tried to make up for it mid through the season with Quinn Williams, and he's going to be a good player. But I think long term it was the right move to get rid of Micah. But I think the moment you traded him, it pretty much you sold on the season. And it's interesting because if you look at the Vegas odds before they traded Micah, the Cowboys win total was at 7.5 wins over under. And you know what the number was after they traded Micah?
7.
7.5. Didn't
Nothing.
even
He didn't
move.
change nothing.
Okay,
Didn't
check
even
this
There ain't
move.
out.
nothing.
Good
So
point.
So
They
you
should
don't
have
think
traded Micah 2 years ago, and you would have got more value than you did this past year.
Exactly.
this is
yeah.
my mentality. This is how I look at it. Michael was able to do what he do, and now people don't want to give this man credit. A lot of what he did, he was able to do because of D Law on the other
Mm.
side.
hmm
D
Just
Law,
me clapping.
That's
hey
fair.
man, D Law was a damn good run stopping Ed.
Yep.
He
Was
was
that?
good at run stopping the run. He could give you some pass rush. He can give some pressure. That took a lot of the pressure off of Michael. Michael was able to look better
Good
than what
point.
I think he is. Seriously, man. And I'm just being real, bro. Like in Green Bay, they had good pass rushers already. Well, Michael went over there and he was able to accumulate his 12 sacks. That's what he do every year, 12 sacks. He was able to accumulate that because of what was on the other side of him. It's a team sport, remember? It's a team sport.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we
No
got,
doubt.
I don't
now
want
we
to come to Dak losing.
now what we need to do, since we got defensive tackles, we don't need to go to a 3-4, man. We finally got defensive tackles, bro. Keep that
But
4-3.
Now we
caution though, there's still no guarantee they're gonna be able to keep Clark. That's the only thing that they have to do. They got to find a way to keep Clark
But
to make this work.
yeah, but if
I've
they
been
go into a
hearing
three
say,
four, if they
I've
go into
been
a 3-4, they really don't need Clark, to be honest.
that's
Yeah,
true, but
I
I want to
mean,
understand that.
we don't know. You're right. We don't know if they're gonna go to a 4-3 or 3-4.
No, they going to a 3-4. That's confirmed.
Okay.
From
That
from what
philosophy has changed from a 4-3 to a 3-4 base defense.
Well, in that case,
yeah.
then if Sonny Styles there at 12, you better pick him up.
And look, man, ain't that such a cowboy thing to do? You finally got two good defensive tackles, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
switch to a 3-4 defense. That's such a
Fuck
cowboy
yeah,
thing.
man. Just find two big defensive ends to run that fucking forward. Because
Yep.
look what Seattle and Houston did this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now
From
we
from what
gotta
I've
find
yeah.
a big beast at nose tackle now because we don't have that.
And you
Yeah,
know what? And then that one tech, you could have got one in the second or the third round, but we traded those picks this year for Pickens and Williams.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, you're right. That
yeah,
did happen.
yeah. I just don't think we got the linebackers like JB said for a darn 3-4, man.
We,
Nope.
I mean, yeah, 'cause, Mary gone, Sanborn gone, uh, Overshawn. Man, you
injured
better
too
hope
much.
that he can come back from that knee injury.
No, man.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen Overshown blossom, but these injuries have been holding him back, and I really think we got the best of him, bro. We need to run this 3-4-4, and then we gotta have the backups for those
Yep.
four linebackers.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know how
Elgin
deep we
Raccoon?
gotta go through, how deep we gotta be at linebacker to run the
Yes.
3-4, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why have you noticed in free agency last year they had less players than they did the year before? They had maybe 9 or 10. I wouldn't be surprised if that number tries to increase a little more. They want to increase the numbers more on undrafted rookie free agents, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're going to try to make this transition work. They're going to need bodies one way or another.
That's why
You
I
know what?
said
Elgin Raccoon?
this defense is not going to be looking all that great because there's too much transition going on in the
It's
first year.
too many, man. You need a safety. You need just throw a dart on the board on the defense.
For real.
This starting
But
with
I
nose
do agree,
tackle.
you have to start with that front seven first.
Yeah. And start with nose tackle. That's
Exactly.
the key to a 3-4, bro. You ain't running no true 3-4 base defense if you don't have a bona fide nose tackle that can play A and B gap. Take
You
double
need
team.
somebody like 6'5", 350 pounds.
Yeah, bro.
That's why I said it's ridiculous for them to switch to a 3-4 right now. You have a good 4-3 foundation with Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. You have a good 4-3 foundation right now.
And
Stick
too.
with that and add to that. You see what I'm
Don't
saying?
change
Like,
that.
man, all of us on this panel right now can run the Cowboys better than they can.
Yeah.
I mean,
convinced, bro.
We can't do no fucking worse. Like I said, that much. Considering the results, yeah, I don't think we can do fucking worse. Shit, we might be an improvement.
For real. For real. I would have been assigned Pickens already. I ain't putting him on no tag. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get a contract so this boy won't be disgruntled. Because a disgruntled Pickens is a distraction. You see what I'm saying? They don't think. That's why he was having problems in Pittsburgh. He was disgruntled because he wanted a contract. That's why they were calling him a problem child and all that shit. When he came here, he felt new life. You know, it's new surroundings. I'm with CD. Okay, I got a quarterback that's at least decent enough to give me the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with a whole new organization, so he was happy. He was shining. He was showing what he had this year. If you sit up here and try to franchise tag this man, he gonna be disgruntled if y'all don't get him no contract, bro. And there go another problem.
And you know, right now the Cowboys are $38 million over the cap. Dak Prescott, of course, he's gonna count $75 million. CD count $38 million. Still $20 million. Oh yeah, we also he gonna count I think $22 million.
Yeah.
Shit. Man. The problem was last year when they signed Dak to that damn contract.
Yep. That was the problem.
That's the problem right there.
All of this shit.
I tell anybody this, if you had me to choose between in 2024, if you had to choose between me paying either Prescott or Land, I'm taking CeeDee Lamb every time. And even you have to force me to choose between Parsons and Prescott again, even if you don't like Micah, even if you don't think of him as a generational talent, to at least compare to other defensive pass rushers, you can at least say he's no worse than top 10. He at least has a case for that. That as a quarterback, you can't face it. He's too inconsistent, basically, even be considered even top 10 or top 5.
Just like he just said, they done messed up and gave him this contract. So what I would do, hey, look here, Dak. We know we done signed you, but hey, we need some money, bro. Do you want to win a Super Bowl? We need to restructure this shit. it might push some money down the line, and it may even hold Dak to give him a lengthier contract. Cool, but that don't mean Dak got to be our starting quarterback. I'll give him that little money, restructure that contract, push some shit down the road, restructure CD, push some shit down the road. Next year, when we have this number 1 pick, I'm looking for a quarterback, dog.
Mm-hmm.
But they
And
not
I'm
thinking
using this
like that.
money off this restructure to fill this roster up in free agency.
Bro, they not thinking like that. That's culture change.
Bro, just look
That's
at
not how they do business, bro. You're right. That's not how they
Bringing
do
the
business.
quarterback in there and setting Dak to the man. They not, man, bro. You talk about changing the culture, and that's all I've been saying. If that's culture changing, starting with the QB, far as player wise.
Well,
That's
You
but I'm
got to you
saying,
got to get him out of here. But I mean, I know
they got
we got
about
at least
enough,
2
bro.
years of him, but I know what really kind of pissed me off this year. You know when they put in Milton,
Yeah.
they didn't even try to design no type of plays for him. They just had him go out there and just throw the ball 50
true.
yards down the field.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I got zero confidence in Milton, bro.
I do too.
Yeah, man.
Here's my
He
question:
didn't go play
Who
though.
is who's the quarterback coach for the team?
What was it? He gone now. He left this year. He went to another team, but his name was what was his name? Oh,
Shit,
I
I don't
can't
even know
think
who
of
he
it.
was.
Was
He
it
wasn't
Tozian, I
about
think?
he wasn't about shit. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't all that. But I mean, Dak got him by the nuts right now, to be honest with you, with that contract. He's subject to make what 74 million this year, bro. You mean to tell me that's a $74 million quarterback, man? Oh, Dak was MVP. Yeah, for what, 2-3 weeks? After that, I remember the motherfucking Cardinal game, the Chicago game, the Panther game, the Bronco game, the Charger game, the Viking game. I remember that. Dak was not no MVP this year.
Can I address this guy right here? Talking about we
Yeah,
are
man. Go
frustrated
ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
Talking about we frustrated now. Just wait till Dak is gone, and we are searching for another quarterback. Okay, Paul Ron 21. Can you name me 3 quarterbacks that you will pay over $50 million? That is named outside of Patrick Mahomes. Because if you look at the quarterbacks that was in the playoffs, they all younger. What you do, you build your offensive line. You get you a running game. You build your defense. Your quarterback could be a bus driver. Dak is a bus driver. They
But these
tried to make
quarterbacks,
Dak to
Dak
something
ain't
that
even
he's
a
not.
bus driver. He's not
but
even a bus driver,
these
bro.
quarterbacks that's in the Super Bowl, what round was they drafted in?
Darnold
First
was
rounders. They're all first
Darnold
rounders.
first round,
Okay. The majority of the quarterbacks that was in the playoffs pretty much was first rounders too.
Yeah. But in my
Darnold was a
opinion, the quarterback play kind of went down a little bit. But if you got a quarterback that look at the film, it stop looking like 30 yards down the field, like Dak be doing, of course, yeah, you ain't gonna win. Man, you talk about people talking about what you gonna do, you find you another younger quarterback. That's what you do.
Right. They so paranoid and scared if we lose Dak that we ain't gonna never win. But what have we done with Dak? Have we won with him?
Nope.
Like, why are you so scared that if we don't have Dak, that we just gonna be sorry? It's the end all be all with fucking Dak Prescott.
You
That's
know,
the bullshit that gets me, man. And
you
that's
know what
why
the
I
whole
think they keep holding on to this guy for so damn long. Like shit. Like, you think that it's like thousands of other quarterbacks we can at least attempt to go try to build our team with. Why
Yeah, they
is
act
it
like
always
Dak
here's
generational.
not having Dak?
but here's the
They
whole
act
area's
like
ironic part.
generational.
You know,
They
as
act
much as we talk, I'm sorry, as much as we talk about how Jerry, how some of those Dak fans complain about Jerry being stupid. We all know that. Then it makes you wonder, well, why in the world they hate the guy? He's the one who chose their mans. They keep him around because if Jerry was actually smart, he would have figured out that wasn't it. Got rid of him a long time ago. like I said, before 2020, and actually made a search for actually a quarterback that can be better. And another thing is Cooper Rush. Like I said, the guy's not Josh Allen, but but as discussed earlier in the show, the fact that he has a 9-5 record as a backup quarterback pretty much defeats the purpose because that means defeats the point about that being special because during those 21-23 teams, those guys, these same Dak fans were the ones who want to brag about 12 wins, but at the same time trash the roster as not being good enough for Prescott. But if Rush can win with them, why can't Dak push this team to a Super Bowl with said roster? Because it defeats the whole argument about him being elite. Where even they also want to defend the issue of no other court. You can put Mahomes or Burrow or Allen on those teams. They still Cowboys still won't win a Super Bowl. No, that's bullshit. We just saw Mahomes win Super Bowl 58 with a worse receiving core than we had in 23. Again, we saw Josh Allen produce with receivers that aren't even better than Ryan Fennoy. Joe Burrow took an offensive line that was worse than what we even see this year to Super Bowl 56. So you put them on those Cowboys teams. You can't tell me they're not beating the Niners twice and won't have a chance to beat the Eagles and push or whoever they put in the NC Championship game or get to a Super Bowl too. They can't do that because they're capable of doing it because we saw them do it with circumstances with some imperfect circumstance. They want to try to have a perfect circumstance happening with the Cowboys to prove Dak's successful. But the truth of the matter is, they would have to admit that he's only part of it, not the reason for it. But then that proves that they are wrong about their evaluation supporting him. In that case, they're no different than Jerry in that respect.
Good point.
Look, fellas, I gotta go ahead and end this, but I'm gonna get everybody point on. I know we ain't got the drive or free agency, to dive in yet to change the team, but as it stands, and Christian Parker, and changing the philosophy of the defensive team forward. What are your expectations just going off of that? I'm gonna go with the sport. Then we'll go with Cowboy Champ. Then we'll go with Teflon and Trap and Simeon. Go ahead, sport.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a nice change of pace to at least have, I guess, what's the unknown on the defensive coaching side of the ball, and not just having some retread old coach in there where you kind of know what they're going to do. So I like that aspect of it where you just don't know, where it's kind of like a boomer bust type thing with Parker because he's never called defensive plays in Philadelphia. He's 34 years old. You don't know what you're going to get with him. So I like the way they went about it. Had they interviewed a lot of people. Actually, Schottenheimer kind of showed the front office how they should have went through the head coaching search
Mm.
with what they did for DC. Schottenheimer's like, this is how you should have did it for me, but hey, you gave me the job. I don't care. That's fine. So, but I think Parker. You just don't know. But I think somebody mentioned it earlier where you have to give him, or at least allow him to shop for the groceries and not just say, hey, let's turn, chicken salad out of chicken shit. They need to get talent in here from free agency because they have not been a good drafting team over the past 3-4 years. And it's showing in the depth of this roster. There's just zero depth. They're very top heavy. And now even some of the top, aspects position wise are not good, like linebacker, corner. We know they're depleted at those positions. So they need to go heavy in free agency. The problem I have with it is they haven't dipped in free agency seriously in over a decade. That I don't think they know what they're looking for. Like I don't think they know who the good players are outside of their own roster. They
Well,
get
ain't that
so
Will McClay fault then?
yeah, and then scouting department, they have scouts that look for free agents outside of the team. I mean, whoever decided to trade for Kenneth Murray last year, hopefully he's still not employed by the Cowboys. But like there are clear, really good free agents at linebacker. Like you can get a Devin Bush from Cleveland. He had a badass year. Devin Lloyd from Jacksonville. You have linebackers that can come in here, veterans that know how to play. Then you could just plug and play from week one. So if they don't do that and they just kind of dollar store shop again and they just go through the draft, it's going to be more growing pains on defense. And like, who's to say that this offense is going to run it back last year? We know that they had really bad spots during the season. You can't just assume that they're going to be top 10 again. Yeah, you don't know who's going to get hurt. We don't even know if Pickens is going to be back. We don't know if Javante is going to get 1,200 yards again. So like, you have to get free agents in here to give you some stability, veteran wise. So I'm not optimistic unless we'll know. Like somebody said earlier, we'll know like the first week of free agency if they're serious or not.
True. Appreciate that, bro. All right, Cowboys champ. Thanks for the support, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
That, you know what? Everything you old boy just said, that's what I've been saying. Yeah, 34 years old. He been with 10 different teams. He been coaching since he was 24 years old. It seems like he's a film guy, but again, everything is the unknown right now. We don't know if he's gonna run a 4-3. I know you say he's gonna run a 3-4. So if that's the case, then you better damn sure fix that the defense up the middle. A big defensive tackle, get your linebackers and a safety. But we all know who is the man in charge for drafting. That's Will McClay and Stephen Jones. As far as him changing like the culture, I'm tired of this coddling and going out to Greek dancing and playing paintball and stuff. No, it's time to cuss these players out, and I don't care how much money they making. If you ain't, if you're not with the program, then you got to go. I mean, that you talking about culture change? That's a culture change. Get the softness out of this team. It's been going on for 30 years.
True.
30 damn years. And so, yeah, but like I said, let's see what he do with the rest of his coaching staff when free agency open up. Let's see what they do. What type of players that they going after.
Facts. Appreciate that, Cowboys champ. All right, Teflon. You've been kicking the facts all night, bro. I know you got one more for me. Let's go.
Okay. I got question marks about Parker. Number one, he coached defense. He coached secondary. So can he coach front seven? Do we know what a good front seven would look like? He's never called plays in the league before. So can he call plays? Can he be a defensive coordinator? Can he handle the entire defense, not just the secondary? Those are questions I have. We'll find out. I'm not gonna just jump on his neck, jump on his helmet right now, like he can't. We're gonna see. But my confidence level ain't that high. I can tell you that. Just me personally. The other Cowboy fans don't have to feel like me. You know what I mean? My confidence level ain't very high. I have a lot of questions about him. Like we were saying, we don't have the horses on this defense. We don't. We got to get players, man. We got to get players. Players make coaches look awesome. Good players make coaches look awesome. Good coaches make players look awesome. It's a combination. You got to mesh that together. So right now, we don't know if we have either.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So everything is a question mark. We're gonna see, like I was saying earlier, the first week of free agency, we're gonna see if this culture has really changed. Like everybody claiming it is. If Shotty really calling some shots and all this shit, we're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? It's funny to me, but hey man, like Cowboy Champ came in and said though, the culture starts with Jerry, not Shotty. It starts with Jerry in that front office, man. You have to spend money on veterans. You can't just rely on young rookies. You have to spend that money, man. And free agency, more so than the draft, is what I'm waiting on. Free agency.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate you, Teflon.
For sure.
All right, Cap. What you got, man? You still there?
Yeah. Oh, it's my go.
No, I guess Trap ain't there. Go ahead and Samuel.
Oh, okay. Well, like like what Sports said. Shocking enough, they actually they actually did the hiring process the way you expect them to do it. Wish they'd done that more often. And my thing is, I'm thinking there's some good things about Parker. And like I said, I hope they basically, we're gonna have to, want to see this do work. we had to give we it's going to be his first time calling plays. There's going to be some boom and bust there, but I really hope that he can make this defense work. I really, really hope he can. And he's worked with some people, like Vance Joseph to kind of make this thing, you think that, okay, maybe he can make this thing work. We don't know. There's a risk it could fail, but maybe he can help turn his defense around. But then you have to consider the fact that they're going to have to give him, as I said, at the end of the day, they're going to have to give him players to make it work.
Yeah.
And that means they can't sit in their ass and not do shit. Draft, free agency, trades, they got to make all three of those things work to make this defense, good, competitive. But as we said before, we don't know how the 2026 season is going to look like when it starts. Even our defense, we don't guarantee, there's no guarantees how the season is going to start in 2020. And I said my biggest fear would be that even if, he finds a way to make this defense work, if we still had a competitive defense, we still fail, then he ends up being the one taking the blame because once again, our $60 million dumbass of a quarterback and the offense failed once again. And even when we had a good defensive showing, it wasn't enough because the offense ends up taking the blame instead of just getting the blame where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
$6 million man in the offense. So I really hope that, this dude can make it work. I really think he can, but they're going to have to give him what he needs. They got to give him actually good players to make it work. And then we'll have to actually see whether or not he's got it or not. And so that's the only thing I got.
Well, that to me is just going back to seeing how is he gonna be able to run this Cowboys defense without having the personnel, and that's gonna reflect on Will McClay, Jerry Jones, how they gonna jump into free agency. Like Teflon was saying, how aggressive they gonna be and spend the money in free agency and getting veterans and got them going hard in the draft and hitting on at least the majority of their picks. Because, bro, I'm like, there's question marks. I'm not saying that the young fella, ain't good enough. My thing about him, or not really him, it's about the Cowboys and the situation we're in. You know what I'm saying, on the defensive side of the ball and getting the first time DC and don't even have the personnel to, coordinate with his philosophy. That to me is a setup for disaster. I think if he would have went to a team that was running a 3-4 and had some of those players in place, yeah. But overall, man, as I see it, this is gonna be a wait and see thing. But my confidence is really low, and I'm looking at it like, yo, this is gonna be another bad season already. But we're gonna see. And but I appreciate everybody on the panel, Cowboys champ, Sport, Teflon Breeze. Boy, you hit the home run tonight, Samuel. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day, and
yes, sir.
appreciate meeting y'all.
All right,
For
everybody
sure.
have a
All
good
right,
day.
man.
Holla at you, fellas.
Y'all have a good day.
Yeah.